sunny September South Bend skies. You are looking at Everwise School Field in the east side of town, where tonight it's the 80th renewal of one of South Bend's great football rivalries. The Riley Wildcats and the John Adams Eagles get together on this edition of the 46th game of the week. And how you doing, everybody? Alongside the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt and Angelo DiCarlo on the sidelines. Chuck Freeby, great to have you with us for what promises to be an electric night here at School Field. The Riley Wildcats off to one of their best starts in recent years. They are 2-0 on the year, and when you look at Dark Lee's program, they could have a really big season.
Yeah, they have a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball, and they're going to throw it all over the place with a lot of weapons. A lot of people say that they're poised to have a really good season. Well, in fact, I think they could possibly go undefeated in the regular season. They have a really good squad, and their schedule dictates that they could have an undefeated season, I believe.
And Dark Lee has some high expectations for his squad.
Now we have not achieved exactly what we've wanted to. Yes, the win-loss is 2-0, but we felt we'd be in that position anyway. You know, we have probably, if I had to grade it, we're at about a B- after we've done our team grades. So there's a lot of things that we still have, you know, left in our tank that we feel we've been leaving behind and kind of leaving some meat on the bone. And this is another week for us to try to iron those things out and get better at. We're excited. It's a rivalry week. You know, their coaches are juiced up. Our coaches are juiced up. Our kids are juiced up. Their kids are juiced up. Should be a great night.
But a thorn in the side of these Wildcats has been the John Adams Eagles. They have beaten Riley 3 consecutive years. In fact, last year it was the only win that Frank Karszewski's team had, and yet he seems to be making progress building a program on the east side.
That's the thing that he's trying to do over here, is he's really trying to build a program, and you can see the excitement in these kids out here. They believe they can win this game tonight. They beat them last year. They beat them 3 consecutive times, and you can really see stuff developing out here on the field with the attitudes of these Adams players. They believe, they have the confidence, and they know this is going to be a fight tonight.
And I asked Frank, what's the hallmark of his program?
Well, we want to be a defensive-first team. That's kind of our goal and our focus. Put a big emphasis on improving our offensive line this year as well, because we want to be a physical team, and we want to be able to run the ball between the tackles. Now, we haven't been as effective as we'd like to, and we've been effective in the quick passing game, and that's something Phoenix Clark has been done a good job with, is building relationships with the receivers and being able to be effective in that quick pass game. So that's where we are right now. Where we want to be is a complete team that can run the ball 50% of the time, basketball 50% of the time, and have a really strong defense.
Angelo DiCarlo roaming the sidelines again tonight, and Angelo, 80 meetings is part of what makes a rivalry special. What else is it about this one?
Well, think about it. In South Bend, you can go to any school, right? So you could have even siblings in a family. When one's a senior going to Adams and a sophomore could be going to Riley. You have family members, parents that maybe go to different schools. You have kids on these teams that might be neighbors together. And so you have a lot of friends, a lot of kids that grew up together, and that adds to the atmosphere, adds to the rivalry, and adds to the angst and the talking on the field, so to speak, because both teams really want this one, so they have the bragging rights against their buddies.
It is truly a Hatfields and McCoy's atmosphere here. Who's going to win this edition of the Family Feud? The 80th one here at Everwise School Field. We'll get you ready with the St. Joseph County Police Department pregame show in just a moment. You're watching the 46th game of the week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Bill's Heating, Health Markets, Tony Letcher, St. Joseph County Police Department, Martin's Supermarkets, Tire Rack, HealthLink, Raising Cane's, Crown Trophy, API St. Andrews Products, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Not a bad crowd on hand for an early starting game here on a Friday night in South Bend. The John Adams Marching Band lining the tunnel here, awaiting for their Eagles to come out as we get you ready for this one with our St. Joseph County Police Department pregame show, featuring our keys to win. And we'll start with the Riley Wildcats, the visitors, who come in here with a record of 2-0. They're led by a junior quarterback by the name of Austin White, 5'10", 185 pounds. White is completing less than 50% of his passes, but he's thrown for 293 yards and, most impressively, 5 touchdowns in the first 2 games. He can also run it. He's averaging almost 8 yards a carry. Then on the defensive side, Montrell Northern has come up big for the Cats. The 5'10", 156-pound senior has a couple of interceptions in their first 2 games, and this Riley defense has been tough, coming off a shutout of John Glenn last week. The keys to win for Dark Lee and the Cats.
The keys to win tonight, they must be physical up front, and that's not just for 24, that's for the full 48 minutes. Dark Lee believes that they need to play a full 48 minutes tonight. They need to cut down on penalties, not so many mental mistakes out there, and be ready for adversity. They haven't really had to face any big adversity this year. They need to be ready for that physical adversity.
As you take a look at Dark Lee on the sidelines in his second season, 7-5 so far. He faces John Adams tonight, and the Eagles have a pretty nifty junior quarterback of their own in Phoenix Clark, 6'2", 175 pounds. Clark is completing an amazing percentage on his passes so far this season. 32 out of 45 for 358 yards, only the 1 touchdown. He too a mobile quarterback, averaging about 4 yards a carry, and he'll get some help in that running back category from David Hyo, the 6'1", 205-pound junior with 132 yards rushing to lead the Adams offense. But also, Hyo has been a big factor on the defensive side of the ball with 15 tackles, and he made the key hit in last year's win over Riley. The keys for Frank Karszewski and the Eagles.
The keys tonight for the Adams Eagles, they need to make sure they tackle in the open field. Riley's got a lot of speed, and they believe they need to bring those guys down in that open field area. Move the line of scrimmage. When you're running the ball, you've got to be able to move that line of scrimmage, and Adam believes that's one of their big keys tonight, and they cannot give the rock away. They cannot have turnover after turnover and allow Riley to take advantage of them.
So the Wildcats have come out onto the field, circling their own flags over just past the 50-yard line on their side of the field. And Adams waiting in the locker room for Riley to finish coming out, and then the Eagles will come out. The series history between these two teams dates back to 1941. Riley leads the all-time series 47-32. But last year, John Adams won in a double overtime thriller by a count of 14-6, and the Eagles have taken the last 3 in the series. The officials tonight, as assigned by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, Bruce Barlow is working with Jeremy Belko, Richard Bachenik, Sean Horton, and Michael Maslowski. And as always, the Indiana High School Athletic Association looking for more officials. Reach out to Jimmy Arnett from the St. Joe Valley Officials Association, and he'll get you hooked up in whatever sport it is that you want to participate in. As far as the weather is concerned, it is another Chamber of Commerce night in South Bend. 81 degrees, a gentle zephyr out of the south at 9 miles an hour, and there's not a chance of any rain falling on the Key Bank building, the Liberty Tower, or anything else tonight in South Bend. As you see the Adams Eagles emerge from their locker room, they are 1-1. They lost to Culver Academy on opening night here at School Field by a count of 21-14. But then last week, they were able to go down to Logansport and hang on for a 23-22 win over the Berries, and that really seemed to give them a boost.
Yeah, playing that Culver military team, talking to a few of the coaches, they really believed, they felt they were the better team in that game, just didn't play very well as a team. And I think that's what they really got together last week. Played a great game against Logansport. They believe they came together, kind of turned the page a little bit. They have all the confidence in the world that they can take out the Riley Wildcats tonight.
And here come the Eagles. Landon Roberts leading the charge, waving the flag and bringing it over to the student section. And you mentioned before the game, both these student sections have really turned out in force here tonight.
Yeah, it's just great. At 6 o'clock on a Friday night, an early start for tonight's game, and these kids come out in troves to pack the stands and support their fellow student athletes. Nothing better than seeing the fans out here, and especially the student body.
I don't know if they coordinated it or who made the first call, but Riley is having a whiteout. Adams is having a blackout. I'm sure both student sections will reach out to me on Twitter and say, oh, it was us that made the first call.
Yeah, you know, with social media, they definitely got it out there and got the word, and that's how they spread the word pretty fast. And both the student sections got the memo, and they knew what the assignment was. John Adams High School is an A-rated school by Indiana Department of Education and recently was named the only school in the state of Indiana with a majority minority student population to earn a top 70 state ranking by the U.S. News. Adams is extremely proud of its rich athletic and academic traditions for the past 80 years. Visit adams.sb.school for more information.
The man with the headset you saw, Frank Karszewski, in his second year at Adams High School, a former Eagles quarterback, 2-10 in his career, but one of those wins came against Riley, and there you see Dark Lee on the other side for the Riley Wildcats, 7-5. He got off to a rough start in his career with 3 years at Muncie Central, but he has really done a nice job since coming here to the south side of South Bend. The captains meeting at midfield for the ceremonial coin toss. And as Angelo mentioned before the game, these two teams know each other oh so very well. A lot of them were teammates maybe at a different level, elementary or intermediate school, maybe have played together in some different leagues on some different teams, but tonight they want nothing more than to run over the other one.
Yeah, definitely going to be no hurt feelings or lost feelings after this game for the victors, and a lot of bragging rights are going to happen in tonight's game, and this could definitely turn into a very traditional rivalry game, kind of like the battle between Marion and St. Joe. I mean, these two teams definitely, each one wants to win and wants to have the bragging rights for the whole year.
And Adams wins the toss, and they want the football, and they will start at the west end of School Field. We mentioned the schedule for John Adams. Riley opened up on the road at Gary West. They had to change their opponent the Sunday before opening day. Didn't really seem to matter much to Dark Lee and his squad. They were going to play Attica, who frankly is not a good football team. They switched to Gary West. I don't know how good Gary West is this year, but Riley handled them well, 48-12 up in Gary. And then last week, very impressive, as they went to Walkerton and shut out John Glenn, 21-0.
Yeah, what a very physical game that must have been last week against John Glenn, Coach Barron over there. I think that really got them going to believing, hey, we have a chance to have a really good season, maybe a historic season here at South Bend Riley. This is the one game early in the season that really stands in their way. If they can get by this South Bend Adams Eagle, their schedule opens up a little bit easier before they hit New Prairie a little bit later in the season.
There you see the discussion with the receiving team on the special teams, as we're a little bit slow in getting started tonight for what was scheduled as a 6 o'clock kickoff here in South Bend. But Austin Flugner, the kicker for this Riley team, leads his squad out onto the field. Austin, a terrific member of the swim team at Riley. And going back deep for the John Adams Eagles, number 2, Braylon Williams, and number 8, Carson Bryce.
What a beautiful field this is here, Chuck. Just the turf that they put in, and it should be a requirement that every school in the viewing area should be allowed to play on this field at least one time in their high school career, because what a sight it is to be out here in South Bend, here at School Field.
It's such a great mix of the old and the new when you come here to School Field. You've got the concrete edifice on this side that has been around South Bend since the 1930s. There used to be a matching one on the other side. That was eliminated many years ago. And the metal bleachers there. You've got the old maintenance buildings and locker rooms, but then this spanking brand new turf that looks absolutely great, not only in person, but on TV. Austin Flugner ready to put the boot to it. And after much yapping, both on and off the field, we're ready for high school football. And it's an onside kick by Riley, and the Cats appear they may have it. But we have a flag on the play.
Looked like they might have touched the ball right before it went the 10 full yards. Maybe he was just, he threw the bag down.
So it was apparently picked up by the official. There's a lot of confusion here. It appears to be Riley football at the Adams 46. We're waiting for some sort of signal from the officiating crew as to why the flag was thrown. let's see if the ball was touched before it had to get to the 50-yard line, and that's the signal, an illegal touching against South Bend Riley. You get another look at it here on the 46 Sports replay. That did not appear to be the case from our angle.
Like he touched it right across the line.
So instead, Adams gets the ball at the 49-yard line.
Looked like his feet might have been where the spot is, but the ball was actually across the line, and he touched it with his hands across the line. It's actually where the ball is, not where the feet, but that's a hard play to look at and decipher where that ball was actually touched when you see the feet and the back is blocking it.
The Adams Eagles get the first big break of the game, and they have the ball in Riley territory at the 49-yard line. Man in motion, Phoenix Clark throws to Braylon Williams, and Williams is spun down after a pickup of 1, and a flag comes in from all quarters.
I think they might have called a horse collar on that. Not sure if he actually got around the back of the neck, but they're definitely going to call it.
So it was Justin Smith who made the tackle that time for Riley, and a face mask is called against the Wildcats. And that'll move the chains. You'll get another look here on the 46 Sports replay from R&B Car Company. And right there you see the head spin around. That's an easy call, and that's why the flags came in from everywhere. So a 15-yarder. Well, they only made it a 5-yarder, despite the turn of the head that time. And it'll be 1st and 4 after the 1-yard reception by Williams. Man in motion, and they shovel pass it to Quincy To'oto'o. And To'oto'o takes it up close to the 40-yard line, but not quite. It'll be 2nd and 2 as we meet the John Adams offense. Phoenix Clark, the quarterback, David Hyo, the leading rusher. You've seen the 2 receivers, To'oto'o and Williams, and an offensive line that's spearheaded by Landon Roberts, the senior guard who was a junior All-State player a year ago. It's 2nd and 1. Clark with a high snap gives it off to his running back, and it looks like Marion Cathy's got the first down, but stand by. There's another flag on the play.
The wide receivers were trying to back up. They were across the line of scrimmage before the snap, and they're actually going to call a legal motion or false start because they were not set moving backwards.
That'll be a 5-yard penalty on Adams. They actually marked off the 5 yards, though, from where the gain occurred, and not from the original line of scrimmage. Finally, they move it back a little bit. Woo. So here's the Riley defense. Tavares Townsend heads things up on that defensive line. The linebacking core is very good. Robert Nebu with 15 tackles, and then in the secondary, we told you about Montreal Northern and the 2 interceptions. 2nd and 6, another high snap for Clark, and his pass is knocked to the air and intercepted. Montreal Northern with his 3rd pick of the season.
Tip drill right there. Great job by Northern, seeing the ball tipped in the air, reading it, and going down for it.
Eric Williams got the tip, and Northern with the pilfer at the 34, and the Cats create the first turnover of the game. It'll be Austin White at quarterback for Riley. Dominic Jolly, his stepbrother, is the running back to his left. And it's White looking to throw. Wants a fly pattern. They're going for Peyton Baird, and they threw it too far. It was actually Aiden Kent that was the intended receiver.
Definitely had him open downfield, just overthrew it, had a little bit too much oomph on that football.
Well, the Riley offense, you see Austin White, Dominic Jolly, the leading runner in the receiving core. They've got pretty good balance. Aiden Kent with 6 catches leading the way. The offensive line really strong, led by our student athlete Marcus Henderson at guard. Here's Dominic Jolly on the carry for 5 before he is thrown down hard by the Adams defense. Making the hit that time for the Eagles, it was Justin McDonald. Riley going with a hurry-up attack, and they're looking at a 3rd and 7 here.
Riley thinks it's 3rd and 7.
Although Austin White over at the sideline to get the call. John Jolly, the offensive coordinator. Austin's stepfather, Dominic's father. On 3rd and 7. White will give it to Jolly again, and he's got nowhere to go against a swarming Adams defense. Christian Bryce came up and made the hit, and let's meet that group from Adams on the defensive side of the ball. Micah Jacobs having a strong year along the defensive line. The Bryce brothers heading up the linebacking core. Braylon Williams tied for the state lead with 3 interceptions.
This is a big series for the Adams Eagles right there to really come through after that turnover and really stop Riley in its tracks and not let him really pick up anything, let alone a first down.
Robert Naboo is on to do the punting and takes his own sweet time before he gets a dandy off that goes over the receiver's head. He's going to let it roll. No, he's going to try to pick it up, and he gets thrown down at the 3. Quincy To'oto'o made the pickup back there, and he was hauled down quickly by Jackson Merle, and you'll see it again on the R&B Car Company replay.
Wow, that's one of those where if you don't catch it in that situation, don't go back and pick that up. And you bobble that just a little bit on that pickup, that's 6 points for Riley.
That's a 62-yard punt for Robert Naboo, and it leaves the Adams Eagles with a 1st and 10 at their own 4-yard line. So Phoenix Clark will actually take the snap back in his end zone with Marion Cathy back there as his running back. And they'll give it to Cathy, and he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage because there's an angry bunch of Wildcats waiting for him.
Riley High School's Computer Science and Engineering Magnet program has been a leader in South Bend STEM education for the last 18 years. We offer a wide range of dual credit, AP, and college level computer science and engineering courses designed to prepare students for careers in STEM and beyond. We connect students to internships, colleges, and jobs that prepare them for careers in their chosen field.
2nd and 10. Clark ran all the way over to the sideline to get the play, and now he's giving it to his team in the huddle. They break the huddle with 5 seconds left on the play clock. There's no way they'll get this off, and Frank Karszewski begging for a timeout, and he'll get one here. We'll take it as well. 8:20 to go in the first quarter. A bit of a sloppy start in this one at Everwise School Field. We're scoreless. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Riley's defense playing stout in the early going. They had an interception on Adams' first possession, and they have the Eagles hemmed in at their own 4, awaiting a 2nd and 10. That's Phoenix Clark, the quarterback of this Adams team, who has had some big passing numbers in games not only this year but last year. The handoff to Cathy, and he'll try to burrow his way up the field and manages to pick up about 3 yards before Quantez Foster brings him down, the junior linebacker.
Good line of scrimmage move by the Adams Eagles right there. Really get off the ball, allowing the running back to pick up a few yards to get him out of the end zone there.
Now the question is, how conservative is Frank Karszewski going to be here on this 3rd down play? Micah Jacobs comes into the game as a tight end, and he flexes over to the far side.
Got 2 seconds.
And Adams is going to take a delay of game here because they didn't get the play off in time. Too many people confused on the field. And Frank Karszewski says, go run the play I called. It's only a 3-yard penalty. So a little bit of game operation problem right now for the Adams Eagles.
Back with the penalty, 3rd and 10 for John Adams.
Eagles looking at a 3rd and 10 here. Clark takes the shotgun snap in his own end zone. Rolls out, throws, it's intercepted. The 2nd pick of the night, this one by Eric Williams.
Throwing it on the run, threw it not in front of the receiver, threw it behind the receiver, and Riley was able to come underneath that route and make an easy pick.
For Williams, his 2nd interception of the season, and that's the 5th of the year for the Cats, but their 2nd of the night. And now Riley sitting with a golden opportunity at the Eagles 18.
You can improve your future at Ivy Tech. The goal isn't graduation day, it's a better every day after. Ivy Tech degrees transfer to more than 100 colleges and universities. Plus, alumni earn an average of $10,000 more with a 2-year degree. Enrollment is open for an October 23rd start. Visit ivytech.edu/apply.
The referee just gave the safety signal, and I can't figure out why.
I think there was a holding call in the end zone.
So apparently you're right. There was a holding call in the end zone, but they were slow to signal that. And so a safety is called, and that puts Riley on the board 2-0.
Yeah, you think about it and you're like, well, do you take the interception because you're right near the goal line? But no, you go ahead and take the points because you're actually getting the ball back after the 2 points as well.
And there's the call, holding in the end zone. The safety is ruled, and it's 2-0 Riley. Now let's see if we can pick it up here on the R&B Car Company replay.
Oh.
There's the hold. Now,
yeah, wrapped around.
You could make the argument that the hold initiated outside the end zone and was carried into the end zone. Nevertheless, it's called as holding in the end zone. 2 points for Riley. They're on the board, and Adams will have to do a free kick from back at its 20-yard line. So for Dark Lee, the defense continues to carry the day. A turnover and a safety created by his defensive unit so far in this one, and Ryan Brown will do the kickoff duties for Adams, with David Hyo nursing a bit of an injured quad. Brown trying to get the spacing of his coverage team right. And Aiden Kent going to scoop this one up at his own 29-yard line. Kent dodging tacklers, then bowls over an Eagle at the 42. Leaf Wallen makes the tackle for Adams on the special teams, but again, as you mentioned, really good field position here for Riley.
Yeah, just another drive where they're going to get really good field position, see if they can capitalize it on this time. Last drive wasn't able to pick up a first down.
Austin White 0 for 1 throwing it so far tonight. Gave it off to Dominic Jolly a couple of times on their initial possession. White wants to throw here. Looking down the field now, he stops, throws, and there's Marvin Schindler right around the first down marker. Schindler, known better for his basketball skills, but the talented receiver makes his 3rd grab of the year, and it's enough to bring Riley up to first down yardage at the 47 of Adams.
It's a really good job of White just being patient as he rolled out, waiting, not forcing the throw, finding Schindler in the gap there for the first down.
11-yard pickup, and now White will stop again, set his feet. He wants to throw it deep. He's looking for Aiden Kent and overthrew him. Kent was well covered on the play by Malik Dudley.
Yeah, it looked like Kent kind of slowed down a little bit instead of running the route and just keep on going. White's got a little bit of an arm there. He can definitely get it down the field. Riley definitely taking some shots here early and often.
Clearly, they feel like they can hurt this Eagles secondary deep, despite the fact that Braylon Williams has had 3 interceptions already this season, but they haven't thrown to his side. They've thrown to the other one. White will hand it off to Dominic Jolly here, who stutter steps his way up the field and gets to the 43-yard line to pick up a 4 for Jolly. The transfer from John Glenn.
This game's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink. Taking care of your mental health is as important as your physical health. Schedule a checkup at HealthLink today. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, behavioral health, and much more.
Looking at a 3rd and 6. The thing you have to remember about Jolly in the backfield, he's the backup quarterback capable of throwing it, but they may not have to throw it here because Adams just did him a favor and crossed the neutral zone.
Good job on the cadence and really throwing them off there to pick up the first down. Might be 3rd and a half yard. Might not quite get all the way there.
They'll call it 3rd and 1 on the scoreboard here. Midway through the first quarter, Riley trying to build on a 2-0 lead. Play action and a little lob that didn't get to the receiver. He was trying to do just a little jump pass to Anthony Schmoke, but Schmoke couldn't get there. And now on 4th and 1 in Eagles territory, Riley will go for it.
The Wildcats face 4th and 1.
And we'll see if the Eagles defense can come up with a big stop here.
This might be a good time just to follow the fullback, follow the running back as White off tackle here, power it.
Well, that's what they did, and Dominic Jolly had a big hole to run through to get the first down up to the 34-yard line.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies in South Bend is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working toward a great finish. We'd like to thank Imagineering for their continued support of high school sports on TV 46.
Marcus Henderson and DeAnthony Johnson just moved bodies out of the way that time, and it's Jolly again, but this time they saw him coming. Great job of the linebacker shooting the hole as Ryan Brown came up and made the stop from his middle linebacker slot. Brown, a 3-sport athlete at Adams, who is also a member of the basketball and golf teams. And he stopped Jolly for a loss of 1 in the backfield.
2nd and 11.
Second and 11 from the Eagles 35. White signaling the play out to his receivers. Schindler and Avila are split wide, but they'll give it to Jolly right up the middle, and Dominic Jolly up to the 26-yard line. The tackle saving the touchdown by Christian Bryce. But a pickup on the play of 9 yards, and you get another look from R&B Car Company.
Yeah, just a great job of the offensive line on the blocks. They had a blitzer coming in, and instead of just trying to block him at the line, he just moved him out of the way. There again, you can see the blitzing coming up, and instead of trying to just block him out of the way, they just kind of shift his body so he gets out of the way and let the running back cut off of that block.
A poorly executed play there by Riley. There was all kinds of confusion on the snap, and it looks like Dark Lee's going to take a timeout here to talk about this 4th and 1 call with 4:23 to go first quarter. Riley up on Adams 2-0. No, we're not back to high school baseball. It's football on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Raising Cane's Craveable Chicken Finger Meals, one love. Riley lines up for a 4th and 1 at the Adams 25-yard line. Dominic Jolly bobbles the ball, and I don't know if he made it. He did not from where the side judge is coming in. He is short of the chains.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be at least a half a yard short. Needed to get to the 24. Looks like he got to the 25 and a half, or 24 and a half.
David Hyo came in and made the spot, and the chain gang will be asked to make an appearance on the field.
Yeah, from that mark, they might have put it all the way up to the 24-yard line.
That would be an interesting spot, to say the least.
I got a piece of paper up here if they need to borrow it. Put it between the end of the chain and the football.
They're trying to get the players to back up. Adams celebrating as though they held. And the stretch out would prove them right. It's Adams football. They stopped him on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1.
South Bend Schools Athletics has a proud history of providing transformational experience for middle school and high school student athletes. Now, the district, along with its dedicated group of high school coaches, will be providing those same experience to students as early as the 2nd grade. Look for more information soon on how to get your elementary student involved in South Bend Schools team sports.
So Adams gets the ball at the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Phoenix Clark, their quarterback, has thrown 2 early interceptions. Let's see if he can shake that off and get going. 3 receivers split wide for the Eagles to the near side, including the tight end Ashton Minder. Marion Cathy playing behind Clark. And it's Clark dropping it off for Cathy, and he's got some room to run. Out in space, Justin Smith made the stop at the 32, but that's a pickup of 8.
Great job by the righty defender coming up and making the open field tackle. He was the last one. If he's blocked and the wide receiver sustains his blocks, here you can see the R&B Car Company replay. If he's able to right there sustain that block, there's nobody there, and he gets to the outside, he might be gone.
That's Cathy's first appearance as a receiver this year. He's been a pretty solid running back for the Eagles, but that's the first ball he's caught this season. So a little wrinkle thrown in by Frank Karszewski. Now they fake it to Cathy, who took 3 hits, and that left Phoenix Clark with all kinds of running room. He's got a first down to the Riley 44. What a great read by Clark.
Yeah, I think that was all set up for a handoff, and Clark was like, no, I'm not giving you the ball. They're going to tackle you right here, and he just took it out of there, came around the outside on the bootleg, and big pickup and first down, sponsored by the John Adams High School.
First down of the night for the Eagles. Clark with a terrific read on the play because Cathy was absolutely buried by 3 white jerseys on the play. They'll give it to Cathy this time, and Justin Smith waiting for him at the line of scrimmage. Smith, an outstanding linebacker for this Riley team. 6'1", 220, a member of the wrestling team, and throws the discus as well, and he is as athletic looking as he sounds.
Yeah, just a fantastic linebacker and able to get in and get off guys. Love the way he plays the game.
2nd and 11 here for John Adams. Braylon Williams goes wide along with Quincy Toto. Toto in motion. Clark with time throws it deep, and there's nobody there. Williams is looking for a defensive holding call, as is the Adams bench, but there's nothing coming.
Nah, it looked like it was incidental contact, and I like how the Riley defenders actually did that. They just kind of cut his route off and let him run into them. Knocked him off his route, wasn't able to connect on the pass.
Frank Karszewski is not happy with something on the sideline. Perhaps the fact that he can't find some of the players that he needs. It's 3rd and 10. The handoff to Cathy, and he finds running room, but mainly because there was a holding call. We'll see. A flag came down in the backfield.
Yeah, normally right where the holding penalty is called and where the flag is.
Illegal motion called against the Eagles. Big 5-yard penalty, the 4th one of the night already on Adams. And that, instead of a 4th and 1, leaves them with a 3rd and 15. So they'll set it down at the midfield stripe, right in the middle of the SB logo here at Everwise School Field. These 2 South Bend schools duking it out for the 80th time. And Riley wanted to come on a blitz, but Quantez Foster 5 yards for a false start. That's true whether it's track or football.
two teams that are very aggressive with each other right here.
Eagles now face 3rd and 10.
Penalties in abundance.
Still at 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Now it's 3rd and 10. High snap. Clark managed to somehow corral it, and now he's going to run for his life and get slammed down at the 41-yard line by Quatez Foster.
Hey, the 57th annual Blueberry Festival is going on all this weekend in Plymouth, Indiana. Bring the whole family for great food and great family fun. Check out all the festivities at blueberryfestival.org.
4th and 6. Well, Frank Karszewski before the game was asking us about that Lakeshore game we were at last night, and I think when he heard that Danny Thompson went for it every time on 4th down, maybe he's taking a page from Danny. 4th and 6, and he's going to try to go for it right here. This is Adams' deepest penetration into Riley territory so far tonight. Clark from the gun with time, lobs it up there. He's got a man on the back shoulder, and it is incomplete. Broken up beautifully by Stasio Williams. They were trying to get it to Caden Hurstel, but Williams came over and broke it up, and Riley will get the ball back on downs as you get another look from R&B Car Company. It was underthrown, and Williams just would not let him get the hands together. So once again, Riley will start with excellent field position at their own 41, and we'll see if the Cats offense can take advantage. Still 1:10 to go in this first quarter. White rolls out, throws too far. He was trying to make the connection with Bryson Avila, but Austin White so far is 1 of 5.
2nd and 10 for Riley.
There you see Bryson Avila on the field. He has 4 catches on the year, but couldn't quite get to that one.
More fans are definitely piling in since we started here with the earlier start. People are getting off work and starting to come.
One of the better crowds we've seen here at School Field in years. Here's White pitching out to Dominic Jolly. He's got some room to run, and Jolly takes it up to the 50-yard line. He'll be short of the first down by about a yard. Good open field tackle that time by Malik Dudley. Jolly now with 9 carries for 25 yards. As you get another look, he had a canyon to run through, and then Dudley stepping right in.
Yeah, one of those great jobs of having an open field tackle, wrapping up. As a running back, you got to be able to run through those sometimes.
3rd and 1 from the midfield stripe. It's Jolly again, stutter stepping and backing his way towards the first down marker. He might be just a tad short. They're going to mark it at the 49. He had to get just past it. And so it'll be a 4th down and short situation, or they say move the chains. They do say move the chains. It's 1st and 10. So Jolly manages to squeeze out just enough for the first down, and Riley doesn't look as though they'll get another playoff here in the first quarter. It has come to an end here at School Field. A defensive struggle in this one. The passions running high between these two longtime rivals, but points, not so much. Adams throwing a couple of picks, and Riley's defense has 2 on the board, and that's it. 2-0 after 1 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. Down on the field, the Adams Eagles Honoring the man in blue down there, holding the cap, that is Lee McKnight, also known as Buddy McKnight, one of the great running backs in Adams history. He ran for 1,386 yards, or excuse me, he scored 1,386 points with Adams basketball during his sophomore year, and then matriculated to Tennessee State. So that's why they're honoring him tonight with the Tigers in town for Notre Dame. Now let's go down there. Angelo DiCarlo, he's got a Bills Heating sideline report. Angelo, your thoughts on the first quarter?
Well, I think Adams is very lucky to be down just 2-0, right? You had a turnover, a safety deep in their own territory a couple times, and here they are. The other thing I like to see, we have to monitor here tonight, is the heat here. It is pretty warm. This is maybe the warmest game we've had all season. An hour earlier start time. You have a turf field. It was not that warm during the week, so how hydrated these guys are is something to keep an eye on come second half. And it was a very long first quarter with both teams passing the ball, so this could be a longer game than they've played so far this year. So let's monitor that throughout the game as well.
All right, sounds good, Anj. And if you get a chance to talk to Mr. McKnight, we'd love to hear from Buddy. Our second quarter being brought to us by Ivy Tech Community College. Riley starts the quarter with the football at the Adams 49, 1st and 10. Austin White at quarterback, 1 for 5 for 11 yards throwing. And a flag thrown and a whistle blown to start the quarter. A 5-yard penalty on Riley, their third for 25 yards.
Order like a champ with the Raising Cane's mobile app, and you'll be able to feed the whole team this football season with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, fresh coleslaw, buttery Texas toast, and their secret cane sauce. Raising Cane's, chicken fingers, one love.
Down marker says second down, but the scoreboard says first, and that's what we have too. 1st and 15. White set to throw, heaves it out, and oh, did Dominic Jolly pay the price, but a flag comes in against Quincy Toto.
Yeah, that flag almost came in as the hit was happening, but I'm not sure if they're going to call that
well, we
their
will
head,
get another
or
look
if it's
on
a sideline warning, or if it's a head to the body.
We'll see what the call is here. And it's a personal foul. Blow to the head, or blow with the head in this case, by Adams. So let's see the replay and see what we see from R&B Car Company. And he did get him with the face mask right in the ribs. It wasn't the top of the helmet, though.
I think the biggest thing on that was he was just a defenseless receiver in that situation. I didn't think the hit was too vicious. I thought it was just the act of football. He read the play, he came up, he hit right when the ball was coming to him. But the receiver was defenseless in that situation.
So a 15-yard penalty moves the chains for Riley. Actually, this was marked off as a 10-yard penalty. And it's 1st and 10 from the 39. White wants to throw. Adams fans wanted holding. It was not called, but Evan Adams came over and made the tackle anyway.
Are you looking to join an extraordinary team, work hard, and have fun? Then join the Chick-fil-A team. If you're looking for a job with competitive wages, complimentary meals, employee discounts, and provided team member uniforms, then stop into the South Bend Chick-fil-A for an application or go online at chickfil-a.com/South Bend. Chick-fil-A in South Bend looks forward to having you on their team, and you can also call 574-968-0351. That's 574-968-0351.
Dominic Jolly with about a 4-yard carry on the play before he's brought down by Marion Cathy. And so Riley, well, we'll give him 5 on the play, and it's going to wind up being 3rd and 5 for the Cats here at the Adams 34. Riley only with a 2-0 lead here early in the second quarter. John Jolly, the offensive coordinator, hollers in the play for the sidelines. 10 seconds left on the play clock. And movement along the line of scrimmage by Riley. 3rd and 5 just became 3rd and 10.
Two teams that talked before the game how important it was to have mental stability throughout the game. A lot of mental mistakes that each one of these teams have had with penalties.
Both teams right around 30 yards of penalties so far, which is not much less than what their offensive outputs have been tonight. 3rd and 10. White throws, and he turned around his receiver, Aiden Kent, who couldn't make the grab. It'll be 4th and 10.
Martin Supermarkets, groceries to go, annual subscriptions are now available, just $29.99 for the year. Get ad pricing, digital coupons, recipes directly from your account. Learn more at martinsgroceriestogo.com.
So the Wildcats with a decision to make here. And it looks like they're going to send the punt unit onto the field. But they're going to have to hurry if they're going to get this one off before the play clock expires. And I don't think they will.
No, it looked like they only had 9 guys out there as well. Oh, there's their 10.
A timeout called by Riley with 10:20 to go first half, and we'll keep it right here. Let's go downstairs to Angelo DiCarlo. He is standing by with a special guest.
Here with Lee McKnight, the second all-time leading scorer in the history of John Adams basketball. Also a graduate, as you can see, from Tennessee State. Five of his kids graduated from Tennessee State as well. So tomorrow's got to be real neat for you with Notre Dame and Tennessee State going at it.
It's a game that I dreamed about happening. I'm so happy that I'll be able to hopefully see it tomorrow. And I wish both teams great luck. But I really want Tennessee State to play the best.
You once tried to convince Father Ted to make this game happen a while back, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Father Ted and I must have had at least 3 or 4 conversations about Notre Dame playing a college basketball team. I put basketball and football team, and he was for that. And so for this to happen tomorrow, it seems like it's only right.
Hey, last question for you. You're going to go into the Basketball Hall of Fame. What does that mean to you?
That means everything. I have dreamed of that, and I feel very honored and blessed. It's been a long time, but it's been well worth it. So I'm happy if that does, in fact, happen.
Well, congratulations on that honor, and congratulations on getting Tennessee State to Notre Dame.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
But Chuck, Bo, back to you.
All right, that was a Bills Heating sideline report. The play you saw was a fake punt run by Riley. Robert Naboo fails to make the first down. He only was able to pick up 7. They needed 10. So Adams' defense holds again, and the Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 33, trailing 2-0. Phoenix Clark at quarterback hands it off to Marion Cathy, and Cathy, like a bull, goes right up the middle and picks up 6 or 7.
Nice play on first down for Adams, getting that big pickup of 6 yards, making it a manageable second down here. That opens up the playbook just a little bit more when you get that many yards on first down.
You get another look from R&B Car Company, and some nice hesitation that time by Cathy to let the tackler slide by him, and then he had some room. Cathy having to do yeoman work with a bit of a quad injury to David Hyo tonight. And Cathy picks up another 3 here to give Adams a very manageable 3rd and 1. Well, we say very manageable. We've seen 3rd and 1s fail quite a bit tonight.
Well, not only that, they from 3rd and 1s turn into 3rd and 6s and 3rd and 11s after penalties.
But Adams will send an extra tight end in the game here with Ashton Minder as they try to go with a little bit more power here, which makes you think they might try to run right behind big old number 99. That's what they do, and Cathy tripped up, and it's short of the first down marker.
Here to protect and serve our community, St. Joe County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
Both of these coaches have shown a reticence to punt tonight. So Adams will go for it on 4th and 1. Really packing it in. Both teams right around the line of scrimmage, and now Phoenix Clark wants a timeout, and we'll take it as well with 8:23 to go in the first half. Adams with a key decision to make here, trailing 2-0 on 46. And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by API St. Andrews, 31 years of success. 4th and 1 here for Adams as they get ready from the 42-yard line, their own 42.
Looks like they're lining up for a punt in the punt formation. Of course, saw Riley do that same exact thing and go for the fake.
Riley shuffling along personnel. And it looks like they are going to put a punt returner on the field here with Aiden Kent. Braylon Williams is the punter. Or no, they put somebody else out there to punt it. And they kick it away from Kent, who chases the ball down at the 22-yard line. And Adams was kind of slow to get down there in coverage, and Kent runs out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Malachi Dudley did the kicking that time, but nobody from Adams seemed all that interested in getting down the field to cover the punt.
TireRack.com is proud to serve as a scoreboard sponsor for the TV 46 Game of the Week. Since 1979, Tire Rack has been helping people find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. They're also well known for supporting the Michiana community. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
1st and 10 from its own 34 for the Riley Wildcats, who have 38 yards rushing tonight on 13 carries. Adams' defense has been tough to penetrate, but Dominic Jolly picking up some yards here as he gets up to the 43-yard line, close to the first down, a pickup of 9 for Jolly. Jolly came into the game tonight with 161 rushing yards on the season.
You can see a nice replay, nice opening up there by the offensive line, giving them a big hole to run through.
And on 2nd and 1, they go back to Jolly, but this time a swarm of blue jerseys, and he's lucky to stretch the ball to the 42 and only take a loss of 1. Ashton Minder was there helping to lead the brigade of blue, and he had help from Evan Adams. So now Riley looking at a 3rd and 2. They just have not been able to consistently move things along the line of scrimmage, and that's one of the things Dark Lee said before the game.
Yeah, first downs are hard to come by both teams tonight, and sustaining drives is one thing neither team has been able to do.
Looks like they might want to change the play call, but the play clock down to 1. They barely got it off, and here's Jolly in the backfield trying to spin towards the first down, but he's short by a yard, and it'll be 4th and 1.
An A-rated John Adams High School is home to a diverse student body of almost 2,000 students. Adams students have the opportunity to participate in the International Baccalaureate Advanced Placement courses, dual credit courses, and career and technical education courses. The graduating class of 2023 will attend more than 65 unique universities, and graduates earn more than $10 million in grants and scholarships. Congratulations and go Eagles.
On 4th and 1, Dominic Jolly manages to get 1.5, and that'll be enough to move the chains for Riley's 4th first down of the night. But the yards have been tough to come by here at Everwise School Field tonight. So 1st and 10 from its own 44 for Riley as we hit the midway mark of quarter number 2. The Cats have had almost no success throwing the football tonight. They are 1 of 7 in that category. And now whistles blown for another delay of game call, this one against Riley.
The flag is for delay of game on Riley. That'll make it 1st and 15 for the Wildcats.
Riley has 60 yards of total offense tonight and 35 yards of penalties.
Can't have that happen.
And if you're an Adams fan, you want to point the finger and laugh? I wouldn't.
Yeah.
50 yards of offense, 30 yards in penalties.
I think that's a big indicator why the score is 2-0 at this point in the game.
It's been like watching do-si-do. Here's White trying to get to the outside, and Ashton Minder will chase him out of bounds along with David Hayo right around the 40-yard line. And a lot of chirping going down along the sidelines right now between Hayo and the Wildcats. But a loss of 3 on the play for White, and it sets up a, or actually that was wound up to be a pickup of 2 because of the penalty on the previous play. So it's 2nd and 13.
Second and 14.
From the 41, play clock getting low again. White just did get it off. Gives it to Jolly, big hole, look out. Dominic Jolly all the way down to the 35.
Big hole opened up for Jolly, who's finally able to cut it back across the seam and get a big pickup there for the Riley Wildcats.
Pickup of 23 for the Riley running back, who now has 65 yards on 16 carries. Adams a little discombobulated right here on defense, but a bad snap by Riley. White scrambling away. He's got room to run. He's got a first down before Hayo spins him down at the 24. A magical 12-yard play for Austin White.
Wow, you had 4 Adams guys come in here. You can see on the R&B Car Company replay, and they just actually run past him a little too far. White with the ability to scramble and pick up the huge first down again.
And again, Adams barely looked set on defense, but they were set enough as Christian Bryce comes in and hits Dominic Jolly in the backfield for a loss of 3. Bryce, who had 12 tackles in the loss to Culver Academy, a big 6'1", 220-pound senior, makes the hit. And a timeout is called by Adams with 4:43 to go in the first half. The Eagles trying to bow their necks and keep Riley out of the end zone, trailing 2-0. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. Let's say the name of the sponsor right. Crown Trophy.
Crown.
They're nationally known and locally owned. Sorry, Lori. She does a great job making the plaques.
Great job every week. Kids love them. Parents love them.
2nd and 13 for the Cats at the Adams 27-yard line. Couple of long runs on this drive, but now Austin White trying to throw Aiden Kent off his fingertips. And for the second time tonight, it looked like Kent pulled up on the route, and it cost him this time, big time.
Yeah, wide open across the middle on the post route. Just wasn't able to come through. Just right off the fingertips.
So 3rd and 13 for Riley. Well, we'll see if they try to come right back to that play. It was open. And they need a long conversion here. Drop ball in the backfield. Jolly picks it up anyway and manages to get forward to about the 23-yard line. A pickup of 4 on the play, but it leaves Riley looking at a 4th and 9, and they don't necessarily have the kind of field goal kicker that can knock one home from here. White tonight, 1 of 8 throwing the football for 11 yards, but they could really use a huge 4th down conversion here on 4th and 9.
I think they're just going to let the clock run down, call a timeout, and discuss it further here.
Well, they continue shuffling personnel on and off the field. Michael Anderson split out wide. They get the play off. White is looking. Oh, he had Kent wide open, didn't see him, and now flags come in. Adams is held on downs, but we'll see what the penalty is all about.
I think they had guys downfield. Like a guy was covered up.
The referee threw the flag in the backfield. And he is picking up the flag. The illegal procedure penalty will be declined, and Adams takes over on downs once again, holding this time at their own 20-yard line.
Riley High School was honored with the PLTW Distinguished School Recognition for the last 4 years. The PLTW Recognition Program is designed to honor districts and schools committed to increasing student access, engagement, and achievement in their PLTW programs. These districts and schools are empowering students to thrive in an evolving world and have achieved exemplary results from their PLTW program.
The Adams offense has barely been able to get it into Riley territory tonight, and this won't help. A flag on the play. The outside receiver for Adams with a false start. That was Caden Hurstel. 6 penalties for 44 yards against the Eagles here in the first half. First and 15. Phoenix Clark will hand it off to Marion Cathy, and Cathy almost bounced that one to the outside before it was brought down for a pickup of 4. 7 carries, 15 yards tonight for the Big Adams fullback. They'll call it 2nd and 12. Phoenix Clark just 3 out of 9 passing with 2 interceptions tonight for 12 yards. The state's leader in reception, Braylon Williams, held to just 1 catch so far. Clark wants to throw, and he's going to roll right and run right past Justin Smith and pick up a first down and high step it down the sideline before he's knocked out of bounds. But it's a first down for Adams, brought to you by John Adams High School. You get another look from R&B Car Company. Travion Thomas got the hit at the end.
Nice job by Phoenix Clark, able to get outside, use the defenders to point downfield, keep them off balance a little bit. Big first down pickup, a little momentum hopefully for the Adams Eagles going in for halftime.
Clark ran for 60 yards in the win over Logansport last week. He has 51 now tonight. And it's 1st and 10 from the 43. High snap, Clark looking. He's going to run it again, dodging tacklers. And Clark spinning his way for another Adams first down. Brought to you by John Adams High School, a 10-yard pickup for Phoenix Clark. And the respect that Riley's defense has for Clark's arm is clearing him some running room.
Yeah, it definitely is. They know he can chuck it down the field, has so with success as well, but he's got some good legs and he can definitely maneuver there through the hole. Great job of avoiding tackles.
1st and 10 from the 47. The only problem for Adams is they're out of timeouts here in the first half. Cathy, the big fullback, gets to the outside, dragging Riley tacklers with him for a pickup of 2. Justin Smith in on the tackle that time. Adams still with 2:08 to go here in the first half. To the Riley 45, trailing 2-0. The only points of this game came on a holding call in the end zone against Adams. Cathy again slams into the middle of the defense, and Riley ready for him that time. Just a wall of white. A lot of pushing and shoving down there. But nothing doing for Cathy on that one, and the yards tough to come by for the fullback. 9 carries, 17 yards. Montez Foster leading the charge that time for the Cats. 3rd and 8. Long count by Clark. He's going to look. He's going to throw it deep, and it's over the head of his intended receiver, but defensive holding will be called on Riley. Stacio Williams had hold of the jersey of Anthony Sharp.
A lot of times that's a good play because if he was burnt there, that's a touchdown.
So it's pass interference called against Riley. That's a 15-yarder, and it'll be a first down for John Adams, sponsored by John Adams High School. And for Adams, the other good news here is it stops the clock with 1:04 to go before halftime. Still, the Eagles barely inside the Riley 30, so they've got some ground to cover here in the next 64 seconds. Clark stops. Oh, did he get hit? And the ball pops loose. It's still loose. Clark got on top of it back at the 48-yard line. Oh, Riley had a golden opportunity there from the defense as Robert Naboo came in and made the hit.
Blitz by Naboo on the backside, was able to come through, knock the ball out. If Adams wasn't aware of that, and it is actually Clark who actually got up and came back and recovered that ball. Good awareness and not giving up on the play.
2nd and 28, now down under 30 seconds left in the half. Clark throws, but the receiver couldn't get out of bounds. And Adams is going to have to hurry to the line of scrimmage just to stop the clock for a 4th down try. Sharp on the catch that time. But a pickup of only 9 on that play. They're down to 6 seconds left in the half. Clark's going to have to air it out. He wants to throw the home run ball. A flag comes in on the play. Clark goes down. It'll likely be holding against Adams. Dark Lee telling his team just get off the field. This is going to be against Adams, and we're done with the half. He's going to decline the penalty. And the first half has come to an end here at Everwise School Field in South Bend, with Riley leading John Adams by a count of 2-0. Dark Lee is standing by with Angelo DiCarlo. Okay, Angelo, your mic's not on. Let's try it again with the Bills Heating sideline report. All right, we've got a microphone problem, so we'll let Dark Lee go to the locker room as the first half comes to an end here at Everwise School Field, with Riley leading Adams by a count of 2-0. Stick around for a St. Joe County Police halftime report and featuring our Tony Letcher Health Market Student Athletes of the Week. It's next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Time now for our TV 46 Student Athletes of the Week, presented by Tony Letcher of Health Markets. We are joined by 2 seniors from Adams and Riley, Evan Adams from Adams and Marcus Henderson from Riley. We'll start with Marcus, being from the road team. You're a captain here on the football team. You have a 4.0 GPA. You also play baseball and track. How do you make it all work?
It's a lot of work. Yeah, it's very busy, but got to make it happen.
How important are academics to you?
Very important. Since the time I was a little kid, my dad's always stressed that school comes first, so I always do my best to put it first and do my best to succeed.
I see you want to play football in college. You also may study criminal justice or psychology. Tell us about that path.
I just think law enforcement there's been a lot of positive law enforcement influences in my life, so I think it would be cool to sort of get back to the community and follow in their footsteps.
You mentioned your dad, of course, principal at Riley. You've grown up around Riley. How has Riley influenced the man you are today?
It's influenced a lot. There was a lot of great athletes before me, so I've sort of looked up to them and seen how they've produced and how they've worked, and it's just been good to see and learn how to do it like them.
Marcus, thank you very much. Congratulations. Evan, you're a captain in multiple sports yourself, and of course you got to keep up those academics too. Tell us about the importance of leadership for you here at Adams, being in multiple sports as a captain.
I think it's always been important, stepping up, being able to guide your teammates and help them out in situations that may need help.
What's the future hold for you? What are you looking for in college?
I'm, of course, looking to finish college, get my bachelor's degree. Hopefully something major in something business related. Yeah, I'm considering playing a sport, either track or football, so yeah.
All right, and how has John Adams helped you get to the point where you are today?
John Adams it's been a great experience for me. I love the community here. I love all my teammates, friends, you know. Education is also great, so it's been the best high school for me.
Evan, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Evan Adams from John Adams. Marcus Henderson from Riley, our 46 Student Athletes of the Week, presented by Tony Letcher with Health Markets. Back with your first half stats and highlights right after this on TV 46.
Halftime here at Everwise School Field, and the Riley Wildcats with a 2-0 lead on John Adams. No, it's not soccer tonight. It's high school football on TV 46 as the Adams Marching Band performs here at halftime. Welcome inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Alongside Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us. Thanks for staying with us. I know this one has not exactly been a work of art tonight.
It's been a defensive battle out there. I think both defenses really stepped up. They've really put pressures on the quarterbacks and the running backs, and they're both getting pressure through the offensive line, and stuff isn't coming easy tonight on the offenses.
No, and I think the halftime highlights will show that out, so let's show you how it got to be this way here at historic School Field in South Bend, because the first play of the game, or the first drive of the game, found an interception here by Montreal Northern, and then Riley got the only points of the first half with a holding call called against Adams in the end zone on what would have been an interception. Cats took the penalty, which led to the safety and 2 points. Then Adams looked like they had a drive going. Maury and Kathy took a punishment there, but Phoenix Clark had his biggest run of the first half, a 23-yarder right there. Clark with 40 yards rushing in the half. But most of the time, it was just physical play as Kathy just didn't have a whole lot of room to run. Dominic Jolly, 66 yards rushing on 18 carries in the first half, but at times it was sloppy for Riley. Austin White magically picked up 12 on this carry, but Riley just could not convert fourth downs tonight. Meanwhile, their defense making it tough for Phoenix Clark. He was running for his life, ran for 21 yards right here, but a little bit later, Robert Naboo would come in, strip the ball from Clark, and squelch the scoring drive late in the first half. That leads to the 2-0 score, and Bo, to bolster your point, the offensive numbers a little bit on the anemic side.
Yeah, I think when you look at that, the one stat you're going to look at is 6 penalties for each team. I guarantee you, both coaches during their talking at halftime, they have to be more disciplined. They have to be more focused on the game and not who the opponent is. Both these teams are really hyped up about who they're playing, and they're playing each other. They need to forget about that. They need to understand the X's and O's and play their game and not worry about who's across the other side of the ball.
Low-scoring games, not unusual in this rivalry. Last year, it went double overtime, and the final was 14-6. So once again, the defense is dominating, and Riley has 2 on the board. Right now, that's enough. 2-0 Cats. This has been the St. Joe County Police Department halftime report. We have more, including second half play-by-play from School Field, coming your way next on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by HealthLink, your community health center. We have worked out the bugs in Angelo DiCarlo's mic. He joins us now for a Bills Heating Sideline Report. Okay, Ange, you talked to both coaches at the break. What did they have to say?
Well, Dark Lee for Riley simply said we did not play well in that first half. He felt Adams came out with very good energy. He felt his team matched the energy, but just did not execute at all. As for Adams, Frank Karczewski really liked the way his defense played, certainly in that first half, and he complimented Riley's defense, and he said, simply put, we got to get the offense going here in the second half and not be so one-dimensional. But Bo and Chuck, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Ange. Thoughts?
Like I said, they just need to go in there and focus on themselves. They do not need to worry about who they're playing across the ball. Worry about the X's and O's, worry about themselves, let the game take care of itself, and stay within yourself and play your game. They're trying to do too much out there in the field. We saw that in pregame, just a lot of hype, a lot of talk, a lot of excitement for this game. And what happens, you build all that excitement up and the game happens, and then you've wasted a lot of that energy pregame and a lot of that mental focus. And that mental focus is crucial in rivalry games and in games in this type of manner.
You see the Adams students on the home side on school field. The Riley students are moving. There was a young person who went down in the Riley student section and is laying in the bleachers, so the rest of the students have moved away so that officials can tend to the injured party. As you take a look at the Riley huddle, Kyle Edwards, the defensive coordinator, talking to his special teams as well, as Riley will receive the opening kickoff of the second half, and Adams will do the kicking. Phoenix Clark warming up on the sideline. He had a rough first half. He was 4 of 8 throwing the football for 21 yards, but had the 1 interception and just didn't have a lot of people open.
No, did very well with his legs, though. It just happened to have some penalties, and, you know, the blitz on the backside when they were driving right before a half had a lot of momentum, and Nebu came through on the blitz and knocked the ball away. That really kind of stunned them, their momentum.
As Ryan Brown gets ready to put the toe to leather, this Riley team coming in here trying to go to 3-0 for just the second time since 1997. 2019, Jarvis Edison's squad started, or excuse me, Justin Kinsey's squad started 3-0. But since that time, actually since Ron Metcalf in 1997, it's been a tough go on the south side. We'll see if they can get there tonight. They've got a 2-0 lead, and Ryan Brown's kick angles away and goes out of bounds. So that'll be a flag and good field position for Riley.
John Adams High School is an A-rated school by Indiana Department of Education and recently was named the only school in the state of Indiana with a majority minority student population to earn a top 70 state ranking by the U.S. News. Adams is extremely proud of its rich athletic and academic traditions for the past 80 years. Visit adams.sb.school for more information.
And Riley will start the ball at their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10 as you take a look at Austin White. Ran for 18 yards and threw for only 11 in that first half. White, the junior quarterback, looks to throw on the first play of the second half. He wants to go deep. He wants Aiden Kent, and Kent can't get there. May have been held, and the flag comes out very late.
Saw the jersey pulled just a little bit. When you see that jersey get pulled, they're going to call that holding almost every single time.
Malik Dudley guilty of the infraction, and another penalty on Adams. Their 7th of the night will result in a Riley first down to midfield, and you'll see it again on the R&B Car Company replay. The jersey was nearly taken off of Aiden Kent that time. But as you noted earlier, if you're beat deep,
yep,
that's not the wrong play.
It's a 10-yard penalty, you know.
1st and 10 from midfield. White hands it off to Dominic Jolly. He takes a right turn through the line, and Jolly, carrying defenders with him, Ashton Minder finally throws him down after a pickup of 12. And another first down for the Wildcats.
Nice big run up the middle by Jolly. Good job of keeping that defense off balance.
I like really good patience there.
Yes, I like how they go pass, run, run, pass. When you go run, 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 but use the same run every time, that's when they start to really key on that. Ball popped out.
And Riley's on it. Bryson Avila got on the loose change after a pickup of 7 by Jolly.
You can see here on the RB Car Company replay, running through that hole, not quite holding on to that ball, come right in, put the helmet right on that ball and popped it out.
Quincy To'o knocked it loose. Now here's the pass, and it's complete for a first down up to the 21-yard line to Aiden Kent.
Those are the passes White's really good at. Coming on the in route, quick hitch, getting rid of the ball quick and early, picking up that first down.
This is a much more efficient drive here for Riley, more like what we're used to seeing from the Cats this season. Jolly stutter step in the backfield, gets away. And down to the 10, a pickup of 12. Jolly now getting close to 100 yards for the night. You'll get another look from R&B Car Company. It wasn't until Braylon Williams brought him down at the 10. It's 1st and goal. Jolly sidesteps a tackler to the end zone. Touchdown, Riley. What a drive by the Cats. 65 yards in 1:42, and they find pay dirt for the first time tonight.
Much better, more focused drive for Riley. You can see Jolly and the determination on that drive, and the Riley Wildcats understanding that they had to put some points on the board here in the first drive as Jolly limps off the field a tad.
Give some credit to that Riley offensive line, too, which moved a lot of people out of the way on that drive. Camarion Moore, Marcus Washington, and Marcus Henderson doing a lot of the damage. And a flag thrown before the snap on the extra point. Half the distance, and now you wonder if Darkley might want to consider going for 2. But I think they're just going to keep Flugner on there for a 1-pointer.
I'm not sure they even know on the sidelines that there was a penalty. They looked over and nobody actually made the call.
Trainer's looking at Dominic Jolly there on the far sideline. Meanwhile, another flag on Adams. That's going to be another half the distance.
And it is offsides once again on John Adams.
But again, Riley's just going to keep the kicking unit out there.
And that ball is down to the half-yard line.
Austin Flugner on to try the point after touchdown. The snap goes behind the quarterback, and Adams races in there, batted it in the air, and that may have been a mistake. The catch made by Marcus Henderson, and our student athlete of the week tackled at about the 3-yard line. So it'll be an 8-0 lead for Riley here early 3rd quarter.
Riley High School's Computer Science and Engineering Magnet program has been a leader in South Bend for STEM education for the last 18 years. We offer a wide range of dual credit, AP, and college-level computer science and engineering courses designed to prepare students for careers in STEM and beyond. We connect students to internships, colleges, and jobs that prepare them for careers in their chosen field.
So Riley now with an 8-0 lead. Marcus Henderson won't even get official credit for reception in the stats for that. That's a shame. Lineman nearly had the dream of taking in the 2-point conversion there. As it is, now we'll have to see what Adams can do as they go into the sun here, setting at School Field, trailing 8-0. Austin Flugner about to put it into play here for Riley. When we looked at the Riley schedule before the game, Bo, you made the comment, it's possible they go undefeated this year. It is certainly a bottom-heavy schedule. Their last 3 games of the season against better quality competition.
New Prairie, Jimtown, Bremen, conference opponents. And I think that's one of the keys there is getting through this game is getting through that New Prairie first game before they go to Bremen and Jimtown.
And as for Adams, they have another rivalry game that they'll play next week when they turn around and take on South Bend St. Joe. But let's see how the Eagles do with the ball here. First, they have to get it. Remember, Riley attempted an onside kick to start the game. Here, they'll hit a line drive that rolls out of bounds. And now it's Adams' turn to start at the 35-yard line.
You can improve your future at Ivy Tech. The goal isn't graduation day, it's better every day after that. Ivy Tech degrees transfer to more than 100 colleges and universities. Plus, alumni earn an average of $10,000 more with a 2-year degree. Enrollment is open for an October 23rd start. Visit ivytech.edu/apply.
Let's get a quick sideline report from Angelo DiCarlo, sponsored by Bill's Heating. Ange, you've got an injury update.
Yeah, Dominic Jolly couldn't walk off on his own power on the sideline. They have taken off his right shoe, working on his right foot. He did look like he's in pain. Obviously, I have no idea at this point whether or not he'll be able to get back into the game, but right now, treating his foot on the sideline with his shoe off.
All right, thanks for the update, Anj. 1st and 10 for Adams at the 35. Phoenix Clark at quarterback. And he'll have a 1st and 5 to operate here, courtesy of the Riley defense. Here's the play where Jolly got injured, his touchdown carry, as we'll get a look at it from R&B Car Company. And you'll see as he's sprinting towards the end zone, he takes a lick right there on the shin. And that's where the injury occurred. 1st and 5. Clark hands it off to Marion Cathy. He has stood up at the line of scrimmage. The Riley defense has been stout all night, and Robert Naboo came in from linebacker and made yet another hit.
Naboo's had a fantastic night on defense, just very superb. Understands his role out there on the defensive side of the ball.
2nd and 5 for Adams.
Gain of 1 on the play. 2nd and 4 for John Adams.
And again, Cathy getting all the time in the backfield tonight because the normal #1 running back, David Hyo, nursing a quad injury. Bad snap, and Clark falls on it back at the 32.
Clark recovers the bad snap.
That's a loss of 9 on the play, and it'll set up Adams with a 3rd down and 13.
This game's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink. Taking care of your mental health is as important as your physical health. Schedule a checkup at HealthLink today. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, behavioral health, and more.
The Eagles offense held to just 69 yards so far in this game. Clark wants to throw. Has time, fires, and has his man. That's Braylon Williams. And Williams is bulldogged down after he picks up a 1st down, sponsored by John Adams High School at the 48. Pick up the 16, but we have a flag in the backfield on the play. Hold everything. Personal foul, roughing the passer against Riley. Williams came into this game as the state's leader in receptions and is tied for the state lead with 3 interceptions. That's his 20th grab of the season. Now the thing is, Frank Karszewski's saying, boys, the ball's up here. They marked off the 15 yards, and Adams was all lined up back at the 47 where the play ended. Oof.
Wow. We got a doozy here.
1st and 10 at the Riley 38. It's Marion Cathy, and he is wrapped up once again. Boy, Riley's defense is reading the running plays and just coming in and shutting everything down. Jeremy Scales with a hit that time. Cathy has carried 11 times tonight for only 16 yards. There's just nothing there in the middle of the Riley defense.
No, I think that's one of the biggest things with this Riley defense is they do not give up anything up the middle. On the run, just do a great job really stuffing that middle. Getting the pressure, bringing the linebackers, whatever it is.
The only place Adams has been able to find yards is on read options by Phoenix Clark, and then throwing the ball down the field, which he does here, but he overthrows toe-to-toe. And it'll be 3rd down. Clark now 5 out of 10 throwing the ball with 1 interception for 37 yards. We'll see what he can dial up here on 3rd and 11. The tall junior looks over the situation and hands it to Cathy. And Cathy is met right there by Scales and the rest of the Riley defense. Nothing on the play. And we'll see if Adams decides to punt it away or try to go for it here on 4th and 10 from the 39.
Reminder, Adams first downs are brought to you by John Adams High School. We got a big 4th and 11 here. See if they can pick up this first down, sponsored by John Adams High School.
Clark awaits the shotgun snap. Here it is, gets rid of it, and he missed his guy. And a flag comes in from way behind on Stasio Williams, his second pass interference call of the night. They were trying to get it to Caden Hurstel, and Williams got him from behind, making contact before the play. That'll be a pass interference, 15 yards and a first down for John Adams, sponsored by John Adams High School. The penalty yardage really mounting for Riley now. That's their 9th infraction for 85 yards and 2 on the stride.
Oh, yeah, he did have the hold of the jersey right there on the backside. He's calling for it, saying, hey, I was held.
And he was right. Cathy up the middle. This time he's able to drag the tackler with him as he carried Tavares Townsend up past the 20-yard line. That's a pickup of 5 on the play for Marion Cathy. And as many times as we've called his name tonight, that's one of his longer carries of the night. 2nd and 5. Adams trying to respond to a Riley touchdown that happened in the first 2 minutes of the third quarter. Clark stops, throws, finds his man. Braylon Williams spun out of bounds at the 13. Another first down, sponsored by John Adams High School.
Great read, great quick out. Again, Adams going with the shorter routes, the more accurate routes, picking up some yards and moving those chains.
3rd catch of the night for Braylon Williams. And Williams goes way wide to the right. Clark motion to the left. He'll keep it himself on the read option, and Phoenix Clark gets inside the 10 to the 9. Pick up a 4 on the play for the Adams quarterback.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies in South Bend is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working toward a great finish. We'd like to thank Imagineering for their continued support of high school sports on TV 46.
Sun setting here in South Bend. The shadows casting across Everwise School Field. 2nd and 7. Cathy had a hole up the middle, lost the football for a moment and landed on it after a big hit from Robert Nabu, who is getting offers from places like Marion and Indiana Wesleyan for football. I could also see him getting some track scholarships as well.
I was just going to say, very versatile in track, very fast. Got some ability to play on that defensive side of the ball for sure. We saw him last year do a little offense, and he really exploded a couple times on the offensive side as well.
Nabu moved from Sierra Leone 6 years ago. Interested in sports management at college. Here's Clark throwing for the end zone, and he threw it too far, but we've got a flag down. I think there might be some more defensive holding on Riley.
Looked like they almost tackled Williams there.
Side judge had the call. And it is defensive holding on Riley. That'll be a half the distance call from there and keep it 3rd down. But it'll be 3rd and short. Frank Karszewski trying to move people in and off the field right now. And they've got it down to the 4-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 1.
After the penalty, it'll be 3rd and 1 for John Adams.
Cathy, the running back, next to Phoenix Clark. It's Cathy through the middle, and it looks like he's got the first down to about the 2. They'll spot it inside the 3-yard line, right at the 2-point conversion stripe. And we're not certain if it's a first down or not. The officiating crew says, hold on, we want a measurement.
Official timeout on the field. A change will be brought in.
So they'll bring out the chains. It's still mind-boggling. Here we are in the 21st century. All the technology that's available. And we still do football games bringing out chains made out of 10 yards. And there's the first down by the nose of the football. It's sponsored by John Adams High School. And the Eagles knocking at the door with a 1st and goal from the 2.5. You see the crowd here at School Field on this sunny Friday evening on the 1st of September. And the Adams fans hoping their team can get right back in this game, trailing 8-0. Whistles and a false start on Adams. And that'll cost them 5 dear yards.
The South Bend Schools Athletics has a proud history of providing transformational experiences for middle school and high school student athletes. Now, the district, along with its dedicated group of high school coaches, will be providing those same experience to students as early as the 2nd grade. Look for more information soon on how to get your elementary student involved in South Bend Schools team sports.
1st and goal. Set it down now to about the 8-yard line. Marion Cathy up the middle, dragged down from behind. He was only able to pick up 1. Again, Naboo in there on the stop. He has had a monster game on defense.
Yeah, you talk about a difference maker tonight. Naboo's been one of those difference makers, and just because you're on defense doesn't mean you can be a big impact on the game, and he's definitely had a huge impact on this game tonight.
Cathy had to come out of the game, and I think Adams has some personnel confusion, so Frank Karszewski's going to take a timeout here. This is too critical a spot in the game to have confusion. 3:55 to go in the 3rd quarter. Adams knocking on the door of Hallelujah Land, trailing Riley 8-0 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. Beautiful scene here at Everwise School Field. Adams and Riley duking it out in the 80th renewal of this classic rivalry. It's an 8-0 Riley lead, but Adams has the ball 2nd and goal at the Cats 7 with 3:55 to go, 3rd quarter.
This guy only got 10 guys out on the field after a timeout.
Phoenix Clark aware of the problem. Shovel pass, and Quincy To'oto'o pays the price. Guess who? Robert Naboo.
Guess who? Robert Naboo. Huge night for number 33.
That'll be a loss of 2 on the play and push Adams back to the 9, and it's 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal from the 10.
Play clock down to 12. With Marion Cathy injured, Adams going to a new running back out there. It's Christian Bryce, but it's a throw by Clark, and it's too high. He was trying to get it to Braylon Hunt, the big tight end. So 4th and goal now, and Frank Karszewski is going to go for it. He's not interested in a field goal here. He's got to get a touchdown. Clark and Karszewski talking it over. And Clark seemingly taking his sweet time getting out there. Play clock at 10 as Adams breaks the huddle. Clark just did get it off. He looks, he throws. Braylon Williams with a catch, touchdown Adams. The best receiver on the Eagles comes through with the best play of the night.
Yeah, now they got to stay out there, understand they got to go for two. You got guys running back off the field at this point. Yeah, the one guy you need to go to early and often is Williams. The hands that he has and the ability to catch the ball.
It's interesting, though, he's not out there now for the two-point conversion. It's Christian Bryce in the backfield with Phoenix Clark. To'otolo stymied. Beautiful play by Riley, as they have read that play well all night. They did it again here. Marquise Young with the stop, and Riley maintains the lead at 8-6. Great penetration by Young to foil the two-point conversion, but both offenses showing a little more substance here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think they're showing that they believe in themselves. They believe in their own X's and O's like I talked about, and they're not trying to go for the deep ball every single series that they have the ball. They're trying to work down the field a little bit, pick up first down, move those chains a little bit, and sustain some drives.
A reminder, two great radio shows on Pulse FM that we bring you. Monday night, Anj joins me for the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union Irish Football Fix. We'll talk about what happens Saturday at the stadium with Tennessee State and get you ready for Notre Dame's first road game of the year against North Carolina State next Saturday. And then on Friday nights at 6 o'clock, high school football gets talked about for a half hour as we have the TireRack.com drive to the game. We'll get you ready as you drive to your game in Michiana. That runs Friday nights at 6 on your home for two great radio shows, Pulse FM.
Reminder, down in Plymouth, Indiana, the 57th Annual Blueberry Festival is going on all this weekend. Bring the whole family for great food and great family fun. Check out all the festivities at blueberryfestival.org.
The Riley students across the way, I think some candy getting tossed out. You bring candy anywhere, you're going to be a popular person.
That is for sure. They might as well just bring it on up here. Bring me some chocolate.
I see plenty of food sitting next to you, pal.
Oh, yeah, Chick-fil-A did bring us some really good food, some chicken sandwiches and waffle potato chips, and, of course, those ooey gooey chocolate chip cookies that they have.
Ryan Brown was all set to kick the football, but the ball falls off the tee, and so we'll have to start it up again. Aiden Kent and Robert Nebu back deep for Riley. Cats led at halftime 2-0. Both teams have found the end zone here in the third quarter, and it's an 8-6 Riley lead as Brown kicks off. This one is going to be angled and bounces off a Riley player towards the end zone. Nebu has to get it at the 1. But he's a dangerous man with the ball in his hands, and he spins forward to the 20-yard line before Adams is able to bring him down, with Tashawn King, the freshman, making the stop.
Wow, Riley got really lucky on that play. They're lucky they had Nebu back there. Nebu, a big-time sprinter for the track team and long jumper, and was able to really go back, pick that ball up, and get it back out to the 20.
He is one of those guys, anytime the ball touches his hand, there's a little bit of holding your breath in the crowd. So now Riley, remember Dominic Jolly got injured on the touchdown run, so they have had to go to their bench, and they bring in Bryson Avila to run in the backfield. And they'll give it to Avila, and Avila gets hit hard by Christian Bryce, and a flag comes in behind the play. For Avila, that was his first carry of the year, but a hold called against Riley, and Frank Karszewski wants to take the penalty.
Only the 12th penalty on Riley tonight.
That will get them close, but not quite to 100 yards in penalties tonight. And now you can spot the ball down at the 12-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 18. Marvin Schindler split wide to the left of White, but Austin White looking down the field. He wants Aiden Kent. Aiden Kent's behind his man and makes the catch at the 42. Beautiful pitch and catch that time from White to Kent. Good for 40 yards. So Aiden Kent able to make the snare, and you'll get another look from R&B Car Company.
Great job of really concentrating on that ball, bringing it down and bringing it in. Well defended. Good job by Kent of bringing it in.
Kent, the transfer from Clay. 1st and 10 at the 42. White rolls to his left. He's got Schindler out there, but he's going to run instead and slide down right around the first down marker. He's just short at the 33. So White will make it 2nd and 1 with a pickup of 9 as they spot him just shy at the 33-yard line.
And just like that, Riley on the move. Couple plays. Getting even closer, ever closer to that red zone.
Their offense has looked much sharper and executed much better here in the second half. Now ball's loose, and let's see who's got it. Riley must, because nobody from Adams is jumping around. And indeed, Avila was able to pounce on it. His own fumble after a loss of 1.
Looked like the handoff missed exchange. Oh, he tried to grab it with his hands rather than letting the quarterback just stick it in his belly. Don't grab that ball. Lift the elbows. Let him place it in there.
And it looks like, let's see if they keep Avila in the game here or make a change at running back. White standing over there on the sidelines. They're going to take the play clock all the way down, and then Dark Lee is going to take a timeout. And it happens right here with 43.3 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. A reminder, we have more high school football next Friday night. What a top 10 showdown we have for you in Napanee. Northridge and Northwood, this is one of the oddest rivalries in Elkhart County. The last 2 years, Northwood has absolutely blitzed Northridge in the regular season, and both years, Northridge has come back to win the sectional championship. So what's going to happen in Napanee Friday night? We'll find out. Chad Epley, 7th-ranked Raiders taking on Nitro Tuggle and the Northwood Panthers. Friday night at 11, Saturday morning at 9 on your home for high school sports, TV 46. That should be fun.
That should be a fantastic game between two teams in the NLC. Two very competitive teams year in and year out in the NLC.
And there will be a great crowd in Napanee for this one. Robert Nabu lines up at running back here for Riley. They give it to Nabu, and he bursts to the outside and picks up the first down after a pickup of 5.
We saw Nabu last year come into the game and pick up a good 125 yards that game. Came in the second half for injuries as well.
They have been only limiting him to defense this year, trying to keep him fresher as the season goes along. But now with the injury to Dominic Jolly and the ineffectiveness of Avila at running back, they feel as though they have no choice but to play Nabu at running back here. It's 1st and 10. Schindler in motion, little shovel pass to Marvin, and he is brought down after a pickup of about 3. For Schindler, his 2nd catch of the night.
You see a lot of people going both ways in the smaller classes, and a lot of times it doesn't affect them or anything like that. And even at the bigger schools, you can have guys go both ways. They just have to understand the conditioning aspect of it and get in that type of a shape. And I'm sure Nabu can handle those roles as both offense and defense.
Riley trying to get off one more snap here in the 3rd quarter. Schindler in motion, but there was movement on the line. 5-yard penalty for Riley with just a half a second left in the 3rd quarter.
This football season, Cane's is serving up their delicious cook-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, fresh coleslaw, buttery Texas toast, and tangy cane sauce. And it's all available to order pregame at RaisingCanes.com or their mobile app, One Love.
And that's it for the third quarter of play from Everwise School Field in South Bend. Both teams finally finding the end zone. Dominic Jolly paid the price for his touchdown run, while Phoenix Clark hit Braylon Williams in the end zone for the score. 8-6 Riley after 3 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, putting education first in athletics. Chuck Fraby, Bo Hunt, the third member of our crew, joins us for a Bills Heating Sideline Report. Angelo DiCarlo, your thoughts on this 1 through 3?
It's a really weird game, right? And it's not only us that have thought that. Everyone on the sidelines that we've spoken to down here is like, this is a really strange game. By the way, update on Dominic Jolly. He is done for the evening with a foot injury of some kind. Obviously was in severe pain, and he will not be back in this game.
Austin White, his stepbrother, though, just went on a nice 23-yard carry on the first play of the fourth quarter. And White, the Riley quarterback, sets up the Cats for a 1st and goal from the Eagles' 8. Naboo in the backfield, lead blocks for White, and White tries to get to the outside, tight ropes the sidelines, and he'll be spotted out of bounds at the 4-yard line, and it's a pickup of 5 on the play. So Austin White, who had only carried for 69 yards all season, has 52 here tonight, including a couple of big runs on the last 2 plays.
Yeah, it almost looked like he stepped out there before he got loose. Took a shot to the ribs there as well as he's holding his ribs.
2nd and goal from the 4. And the whistle's blown and the flag's thrown. And Adams clapping its hands. It could be another illegal procedure on Riley. Too many illegal substitution and illegal procedure called here on Riley. That is now 107 yards in penalties on the Cats tonight.
At number 13, 14.
13.
Lucky number 13.
Not so lucky for the Cats. So both teams shuffling personnel. 2nd and goal from the 9. White looking to the sideline. Play clock down to 9. White rolls right. He's still looking. He gets by Hio and then loses his footing, and flags coming in all over the place on the field. We'll sort this one out.
Might have got a hand up in the face on White.
But there was another flag thrown on this side of the field earlier in the play. So we may wind up with offsetting penalties here. We have had 23 penalties called in the game tonight. 2 of them have been declined. Holding call against Riley, and then a face mask call against Adams. They'll offset, and we'll do it all over again on 2nd and goal.
Might as well redo the play from the start.
You'll see the face mask here at the end of the play. Right there as Braylon Williams reached in, or it wasn't Williams that reached in, but the freshman Leighton Presbendowski. He's one of 3 freshmen on this Adams defense that get quite a bit of playing time. So they'll try it again. 2nd and goal for the 9. White's going to roll to the right again, and it didn't fool anybody. Least of all, Micah Jacobs. Jacobs with his 3rd sack of the season as he gets White in the backfield for a loss of 3. I mean, Jacobs just came in and there was nobody who got to him. It's 3rd and goal at the Adams 12. And as efficient as the operation was that got him down here, all of a sudden Riley has bogged down. Play clock at 2, at 1, and it's a delay of game or a timeout. Riley will take the timeout with 10:21 to go and an 8-6 lead. Reminder, college football on Pulse Saturday afternoon. A couple of Big Ten games as both Purdue and IU open up the season. The Ryan Walters era opens at Ross-Ade. Fresno State, pretty good team that won 10 wins, won 10 games last year, comes in to take on the Boilermakers. That's at noon on all 3 frequencies. Then at 103.1 FM at 3:30. The Ohio State Buckeyes, ranked number 3 in the preseason poll, visit Tom Allen's Indiana Hoosiers. You'll find out who the IU quarterback is when Don Fisher does. And that'll be about 3:35.
And I'm sure Ohio State will as well.
So it's Ohio State and IU at 3:30. Fresno State and Purdue at noon, both on Pulse FM. Frank Karszewski, the second-year Adams coach, a former Adams quarterback back in 2013. Young enough that he still refers to me as Mr. Freebie.
That was very interesting. I'm just glad he didn't say Mr. Hunt at the same time, because definitely covered him when he was in high school here.
3rd down and goal from the 12. White lobs to the end zone. Schindler's there and makes the grab. Touchdown, Riley. Marvin Schindler wide open on a drag route across the end zone. Here's another look from R&B as White lobs a perfect touchdown pass. And they'll wave the flag for Riley High on the south side.
Well, this is a crucial extra point here. If they can make this extra point, it'll go up by 2 scores, making it a 9-point game.
So Austin Flugner is on for the point after try. Remember, Riley had a bad snap on its first attempt. That snap is clean, but the kick is blocked. The kick is blocked, and it keeps Adams alive, down 14-6. But the Riley Wildcats find their way into the end zone. Austin White to Marvin Schindler, and with 10:13 left, and dare we say, regulation, it's 14-6 Riley on 46. Hey, this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Plenty to cheer about on the Riley sidelines in the second half. Their second touchdown of the half puts the Cats back up by 8, leading 14-6 with 10:13 to go. Austin Flugner will do the kicking, and we'll see if the Adams special teams can make something happen.
Big shout out to Chick-fil-A for feeding our crew tonight. Always thankful for them. You're looking for an extraordinary team. Work hard and have fun, and then join the Chick-fil-A team. If you're looking for a job with competitive wages, complimentary meals, employee discounts, and provided team member uniforms, and stop into the South Bend Chick-fil-A for an application, or go online at chickfil-a.com/South Bend. Chick-fil-A South Bend looks forward to having you on their team. You can reach out at 574-968-0351. That's 574-968-0351.
Flugner ready to kick it off. Justin Smith on special teams gets everybody lined up and ready. And Flugner's kick will go angling and send Toto down to the 9. Toto trying to find some running room, but he gets brought down at about the 18-yard line, and that's where Adams will have to take over. And these close games for Adams, well, they're not exactly anything new to head coach Frank Karszewski. Half of the games that he's coached in at John Adams have been decided by 8 points or less.
Well, this 14-6 was the exact score of last year's game, but flip-flopped, of course.
So now we'll see how Phoenix Clark and the rest of this Adams offense responds. They came back on Riley's first touchdown with a touchdown of their own. Can they do it again? Clark looking to throw. and lobs it out there, but he can't get it to Toto, who's well covered on the play. I would dare say blanketed by Eric Williams. It'll be 2nd and 10. Clark tonight, 8 out of 17 with 1 interception. That's well below the percentage that he exhibited coming in here when he was completing 71% of his passes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with trying to hit those under routes rather than going for the gusto every single series. Stay with the under routes. Looks like we have an injured player on the field.
We do. There's a person down for Riley who is cramping, and so we'll keep it right here. Meanwhile, I'm not sure enough has been made of the success story that Dark Lee is putting together over on the south side. He is trying to become the fastest South Bend football coach to take over a program. If he wins this game tonight, he'll have 8 wins in his first 13 games. Do you realize no South Bend coach in the last 30 years has been able to do that? Ron Metcalf at Riley was the last one to be able to win 8 of their first 13.
That's very surprising, but yet great accomplishment by Dark Lee. And of course, we all know what Ron Metcalf and that Riley Wildcat team did back in the day with Matt Wills behind the helm.
But that just amazes me. And there have been some good coaches who have come into South Bend systems, but every time they come in, they kind of struggle in that first year. It might take them 2 or 3 years to get going. Dark came into the situation last year, coming out of Muncie Central, where he had not had any kind of success, came to the south side and put together a 500 season in his first campaign and could go 3-0 if they hang on to this lead. Adams, though, trying to come back in this one. On 2nd and 10, Phoenix Clark keeps it himself. Got to the outside, and the read option works for him again as he takes it up to the 31-yard line. A pickup of 13 on the play for the quick Eagle quarterback.
Another first down sponsored by John Adams High School for the Eagles tonight. Martin Supermarkets Groceries to Go annual subscriptions are now available, just $29.99 for the year. You get ad pricing, digital coupons, recipes directly from your account. Learn more at martinsgroceriestogo.com.
1st and 10 from the 31. Clark throws. Braylon Williams with the catch, and he spins away after a pickup of about 4 on the play. Williams with his 5th grab of the night, but he's only been able to get loose for 37 yards. But you can understand why he leads the state in receptions. First of all, with this quick passing game, he doesn't have to run deep routes, and secondly, he's got great hands.
Yeah, he's got really good hands.
2nd and 6. Shovel pass to Williams here, but he's caught behind the line of scrimmage. That play has not worked once for Adams tonight.
No, it's just the ability of the Riley defenders to blitz up the middle and get that pressure. Nothing has really worked up the middle for Adams all night.
And now the Eagles looking at a 3rd and 10. Not sure we've given enough credit to that defensive line. Jeremy Scales, Marquise Young. They've done yeoman work out there tonight. Here's Clark with time, throwing it deep. He's got Toto out there, and he makes the catch all the way down to the Riley 28. A 41-yard pickup for Quincy Toto. And what a grab this was, as you'll see again from R&B Car Company. Clark threw a beautiful ball into double coverage.
Yeah, that was a great job of threading the needle there, getting it down the field, picking up big yards for the Eagles here.
1st and 10 at the 28, under 8 minutes to go in this one. And Frank Karszewski wants a timeout. I don't think he's got the personnel he wants on the field, and we'll keep it right here.
Here to protect and serve our community, St. Joe County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
Don't forget tomorrow night, pro soccer on TV 46. Saturday night, the Miami FC comes into the Circle City to take on the Indy 11. We've got all the coverage for you. Greg Rakestraw on the call. Saturday night at 7 on your home for the 11, TV 46. Angelo DiCarlo, I want to come down to you for a Bills Heating sideline report because I'm just curious. The atmosphere down on the field tonight. We've had some great ones the last couple of weeks. We had a great one last night in Michigan. School Field seems like there's a buzz in it tonight.
There really is, Chuck. It's been good on both sides of the ball. I've been going back and forth between both the Adams sideline and the Riley sideline. There are points on that last reception downfield, you couldn't hear your call down here on the field because of how electric the sideline was for the Riley or for the Adams student body. So it's been a fun night and a very good crowd overall on both sides of the ball.
Oh, we talked about the good hands of Braylon Williams, but Montreal Northern came over and knocked that ball right out of his hands, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, great job by Northern getting his hand inside Williams' body there and ripping that ball out.
And there you see the Adams students who have been making a ton of noise tonight. We've heard the Riley students on the far side with those Cats touchdowns. 2nd and 10. High snap, they give it to Christian Bryce, and Bryce puts the pads into some people and charges forward for about 5 yards. Bryce getting some playing time at running back with the injuries that Adams has sustained in its backfield tonight. And it's a 3rd and 5 and certainly 4-down territory for Frank Karszewski's team. The sun has gone down. It's turned into a beautiful night here in South Bend. Clark at quarterback. High snap. They give it off to Bryce again, and he got submarined by Robert Naboo, who comes in and makes the stop at the ankles. And it'll be a pickup of maybe a yard on the play, although I don't see the ball mark. Yeah, he finally did spot it down at the 22.
Be a big 4th down call here. Big stop for the Riley Wildcats here.
4th and 4. And this could be a huge play in this ball game for Adams. High snap. Clark rolls left, decides he's going to throw it, and it's too far for his intended receiver, and Riley has held on downs.
Looked like they were trying to go to Williams. Williams got caught up a little bit in the middle of the field on the crossing route. Wasn't able to get open enough, and Clark overthrew him a bit. Riley, they could pick up about 3 or 4 first downs here. Adams with only 1 timeout. Thing is, they haven't been able to really run the ball to pick up those first downs. They got to be able to throw the ball too.
Well, the question will be who will be doing the bulk of the running if they do choose to run the ball. Will it be the quarterback, Austin White, or will they give it to Robert Naboo? The fact that White is over talking with his 2 receivers here might give you reason to think this could be a pass play, but we'll see. White's rolling out. He's looking for blockers. He gets by Hio, and then Christian Bryce finally brings him down from behind at the 32-yard line, and that's a Riley first down.
TireRack.com is proud to serve as the scoreboard sponsor for the TV 46 game of the week. Since 1979, Tire Rack has been helping people find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. They are also well known for supporting the Michiana community. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Derek Lee, an alum of South Bend, Washington, then Ball State. He's the nephew of the South Bend Community Schools athletic director, Milt Lee. Trying to pick up his 3rd win of the year. Austin White rolls out. Again, trying to string out the play. Throws Marvin Schindler with the catch. Schindler into Adams territory, steps out of bounds at the 43. But we have a flag on the play back at the 37-yard line.
There is a flag on the play.
And the way the Riley players are walking back, it's a holding call against Adams. And it looks like Riley will take the result of the play, which is a 24-yard pickup. White goes over 100 yards passing for the night.
Well, we see what Riley and Dark Lee are up to here with the lead with 8 minutes to go, or up by 8 with 5 minutes to go. Is they're going to continue their offense. They're going to continue to throw the ball because that's what they do best. Give it to Nabu here and there and let White run it behind them.
Well, an 8-point lead, certainly not safe in this game. Here's Nabu trying to get outside, and Ashton Minder throws him down for a loss of 3. So Ashton Minder coming up and making the hit from the M position. 5'9", 195-pound senior, but he was easily able to take down Nabu there.
Riley using the clock to their advantage as much as possible here, winding it down as far as they can before they snap the ball.
Which is good clock management by the savvy quarterback. White's going to roll out to his right, look down the field. Now he's in trouble, but dodging tacklers, and somehow Austin White's going to have a first down all the way up to the 33, and a late flag comes in. Wow, what a run.
Yeah, just a great job of really keeping his body afloat, spinning, driving those legs, having guys fall off you. Great job by White. Looks like he's holding his hand just a little bit as he's walking off the field.
Yeah, he does not look like he's in the best of shape, and the backup quarterback, Dominic Jolly, is out for the game with a foot injury. It's a personal foul face mask on Adams. They're now up to 79 yards in penalties for the night.
See if we can get a replay of it here by R&B Car Company. Came right at the end. Must have been on some other guy blocking, pulled him down on the backside.
So the penalty moves Riley all the way inside the Adams 20 to about the 18. Man, he just ran over Justin McDonald on that play. So 1st and 10 from the 18. Nabu trying to work his way up the middle. Robert Nabu trying to run over people. Nabu still on his feet. Touchdown, Riley. What a run.
Nabu for the goal.
Robert Nabu, who has had a marvelous game on defense, now adds a rushing touchdown to it. And he may have given Riley a snap of the winning streak that Adams had.
What a great job by Nabu coming into the game, playing defense, and then coming over the offensive side. And just look at the way he drives his legs, his ability to understand how to stay balanced when you're running a football. He has the instincts. He understands how to run that football. Just love to see him go both ways.
He broke 4 tackles on that run. And we'll see if the Cats do go for 2 here. They have had no success trying extra points tonight, so you might as well.
You might as well go for it.
And they'll give it to Nabu right up Broadway. So Robert Nabu adds 2 more to the Riley total. And the Cats are on the precipice of going to 3-0. They lead Adams 22-6 late in the 4th on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by Raising Cane's Craveable Chicken Finger Meals. One love. Austin Flugner going to do the kicking duties here for Riley on the kickoff, but the place buzzing after the run by Robert Nabu. He had had a big night with a ton of tackles on defense, and the way the Riley defense had played, you might have said, well, you could make a case for him being player of the game. After that run, you got a really good case for making him player of the game.
Yeah, not only the run that he had there, his ability to come in and take over the offense and understand that, hey, I need to put these guys on my shoulders here when we get down in the red zone, because they've been having a lot of trouble down in the red zone of getting that ball in, and that run and then the 2-point conversion that he had, and the way he played defense tonight was just phenomenal as well.
By the way, how about the difference in the Riley offense in the second half versus the first? They didn't have any points. The defense got them 2 points in the first half. They've had 3 drives and 3 touchdowns tonight in the second half.
Yeah, just a great job of really understanding their offense and understanding what they need to do offensively. Stay with the under route, stay with that running game, and they did a really good job of focusing.
So Flugner about to put the ball in play. Toto backs up and takes the ball back at his 6. Quincy up the field. Toto to the outside. It's a foot race. He's hauled down from behind at the 34. Justin Smith got to him. Quincy Toto with an electric 59-yard kickoff return. And the Eagles trying to show they're not dead yet.
Wow, what a great job, really coming up, and perfect example of hitting the seam full stride, not slowing up. Only time he got slowed up when he was trying to cut back, ran into his own guy, slowed him up just enough. If not, he probably was gone on that route.
Now Adams has to hurry. They have only 1 timeout left, and they need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. Phoenix Clark trying to get up the field, and he'll take about a 3-yard gain there, but some punishment. Not as much punishment as Marquise Young took at the end of that play, and he peels himself up off the turf.
Big reminder, the 57th annual Blueberry Festival is happening all this weekend. Bring the whole family down to Plymouth for great food and great family fun. Check out all the festivities at blueberryfestival.org.
From the 31, Clark fires out in the flat. Quincy Toto with the catch. He'll take it up to the 23-yard line. That's good for a first down, sponsored by John Adams High School. Pickup of 8 on the play. And a little more urgency in the step of the Adams Eagles. Clark now at 100 yards passing tonight. First and 10 with 3:16 to go. The bullet thrown, and the pass is dropped that time by Anthony Sharp. It was a little bit behind him.
Imaginary Finishing Technologies in South Bend is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Hey, and like the teams in this game, they're always working toward a great finish.
The flag on the play is for an ineligible receiver downfield against Adams. And the decision here for Darek Lee, does he want to take the penalty? And he does. He wants to make things as difficult as possible for the Eagles, so it'll be 1st and 15. Adams now 10 penalties, 84 yards. So we have had nearly 200 yards in penalties tonight.
That's it. 30, was it 30 penalties total?
Let's see, I've got 23 that were accepted.
23 accepted, 4 that were not.
Yes.
So 27 penalties on the night.
1st and 15, high snap, good catch by Clark. He's going to set up and throw. He's looking for Anthony Sharp, and he couldn't come up with it, but a flag comes in. It'll be pass interference on Riley, and add 15 more yards to the total there, or actually half the distance will make it 14.
Reminder, John Adams First Downs are sponsored by John Adams High School.
And the flag is pass interference on Riley.
3:01 to go. This won't get Riley pushed back further than the 14-yard line. They're going to set it down actually at the 13, and that's a first down for Adams. 1st and 10 at the 13. And now the referee trying to give a Riley player a chance to run off the field. The chain's a little slow in setting up over there on the far side. Well, now the official has the chains going back to where they were before. It's not an automatic first down. So it'll be 2nd and 1 from the 14. And this officiating crew has had a struggle tonight. Frank Karszewski on the headset with the PA booth because they're trying to get the clock reset. So that's why he's looking upwards and talking to the headset. And they want to put some more time back on the clock, and they've reset it to 3:10. So after the 2 penalties, it's going to be 1st and 1.
It'll be 1st and 1 for the Eagles.
Clark looks to his left, fires, and it's nearly intercepted. He threw it behind his intended receiver, and it bounced off the shoulder pads of a Riley defender. As back there on the play was Montreal Northern looking for his 2nd pick of the night.
Clock does stop for the Eagles here, so they can call a play, get something set up. It is only 2nd down. They do need 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions, but they, more importantly, need to pick up that 1st down here shortly as well.
2nd and 1. Clark 12 of 19 throwing the ball. Couldn't hang on to the snap, but got it back. Fires, and it's off the hands of Sharp and out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down.
Gonna have a late hit on Riley. Oh, and a helmet taken off, and they're throwing players out of the game.
Yeah, this is exactly what both teams wanted to avoid, and both coaches quickly getting out there and getting their players off the field. So we'll have to sort out all the laundry down on the field. It was going to be 3rd and 1, and instead, a couple of ejections have happened here. And here's another flag coming in.
They just threw him out of the game as well.
So we had Quatez Foster, who was ejected from the game, and now Justin Smith. So 2 linebackers for Riley have been ejected from the game. And there may have been an Adams player tossed out, I'm not sure. So Foster and Smith are both escorted to the locker room. And they will also have to sit out in next week's game against Clay. Meanwhile, the officiating crew will discuss this. A reminder, next Friday night, there's more high school football for you as we go to Nappanee for a big Elkhart County rivalry. The Northridge Raiders, ranked number 7 and 3-0, they've got their hands full with Mishawaka tonight, taking on a Northwood team facing Concord in a huge Northern Lakes Conference matchup. We'll have it for you Friday night at 11, Saturday morning at 9 on your home for high school sports, TV 46. Both coaches, Frank Karszewski and Darek Lee, out on the field talking to the officials. There was a roughing the passer call on Riley. That was the nexus of the first flag. And then we have, after that, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Adams and an unsportsmanlike penalty called against Riley, and those would offset. And then one more unsportsmanlike conduct against Riley, which was the Justin Smith ejection. So the officials smart to get control of this because, well, to be honest, before the game, we noticed the chippiness started. Both teams were chirping at one another. And the officiating crew wasn't going to tolerate any of it, especially here as we get later in the game. And there's a little less risk involved with some of the penalties.
And there's 3 minutes to go in this game. A touchdown, 2-point conversion, an onside kick, and I mean, it's a long shot.
It's not beyond the realm of reason, though.
Not beyond the realm of reason. We have seen, and people have seen, Just pull it up on TikTok or YouTube. Stuff has happened like this.
So it's 1st and goal from the 4 for Adams after all that is sorted out. And we'll see if Phoenix Clark and the Eagles can push it into the end zone here. They've got a lot of work to do. The Riley defense has been stout, but 2 of their better players have been ejected. Here's Clark looking. Now he's going to run to the end zone, and he got stuck, but he got in. Touchdown, John Adams High School.
Wow. Nebu came up and stuck Clark at the goal line. Clark was able to get the ball across, but wow, Nebu, how quick he got to that line.
You'll see it here on the R&B Car Company replay. And as Clark seemed to have a clear path, all of a sudden a missile wearing 33 came in.
You talk about some powerful legs. Wow.
So now Adams lines up for a critical 2-point conversion. They have to convert this or they're still down by 2 scores. Clark rolls right. He's in trouble, and down he goes. Riley slams him down right there and shuts the door and maintains a 10-point lead.
And who else but Robert Nebu getting in there on the stop.
So we'll keep it here with the score, Riley 22, Adams 12. And Angelo DiCarlo, I want to go down to you on the sidelines because you're right down there where all the action is going on. The officials kind of had to handle a dicey situation there. Seemed like they got control. Do you think the coaches now have control back of their teams?
Yeah, I think it was important that the officials got control there, right? Like you mentioned, it was a little chippy before. The teams have been talking all week. It's a rivalry game. You have friends on each side of the ball. You're down here late in the 4th quarter. Tempers are flaring. Guys are tired. It's hot. And I think they got things under control at the right time and necessary, and it seems okay now, but, you know, you're one moment away from it getting a little electrifying again, possibly.
And now you have to think that the Eagles are lining up for an onside kick here, trailing by 10 with 2:53 to go. And Riley will put its hands team out there to try to corral this one.
Hey, did you know what's happening down in Plymouth this weekend?
Well, it's blueberry time, isn't it?
It's Labor Day. That means it's blueberry time. The 57th Annual Blueberry Festival is happening all this weekend. Bring the whole family for great food and great family fun. Check out all the festivities at blueberryfestival.org.
By the way, whenever it's Blueberry Festival time, that means that Warsaw is playing Plymouth. And this will be the 93rd consecutive year those 2 teams have played.
93, 9 times.
That is the longest continuous rivalry in northern Indiana.
I saw early on, Plymouth took the early lead in that game.
Adam Handley's team has been better this year.
Yep.
He has some numbers. He's got a little bit of depth to work with. I mean, Warsaw is still clearly the favorite in that game, but here's the thing. Bart Curtis's team entered the night 2-0. They had only scored 25 points all season. This is not exactly an offensive juggernaut.
Yeah.
Ryan Brown ready to kick off for Adams. Riley has 9 guys up by the 50-yard line. There's the little pooch kick, and it's hauled in by Montreal Northern, and he'll go down at the Riley 38. So a good catch there by the Cats. And now they have to take 2:49 off the clock. Adams can only stop at once. And Riley could celebrate going to 3-0 for only the 2nd time since 1997. Austin White has kept his head about him tonight and done a nice job with this offense in the 2nd half.
Yeah, especially in the 2nd half. I thought he's done a very good job. Seemed a lot more mature, a lot more poised in the 2nd half with his play calling and his ability to do his option and his runs and his passes here in the 2nd half.
And it doesn't hurt to have this guy, Robert Nebu. Look at him go. All the way down to the 22. And more late flags coming in. A 40-yard run by Naboo. And we'll see what the flags are all about. And I think it's going to be against Adams based on the reaction I'm seeing on the Adams sidelines.
Yeah, and might even be another ejection.
Well, we've got another Riley player going off the field and headed towards the locker room. We've got a dead ball on sportsmanlike conduct foul on both teams. DeAnthony Johnson is now the one headed to the locker room for Riley. I have not seen anybody from Adams head to the locker room for an ejection for them. But the offsetting on sportsmanlike conduct fouls will leave the ball right around the 22-yard line. So we've got the ejection for DeAnthony Johnson.
8 or 9.
And it looks like a couple Eagles are headed off as well.
Robert.
So who do we have going off here? Number 8 is Carson Bryce, the freshman. Anthony Johnson definitely shoved a Adams player away.
Yeah, they're walking.
But it's the freshman Bryce who is going to the locker room very upset. So 1st and 10 from the 22. And it's Robert Naboo again. And Naboo buries his head and goes forward for 4. 6 carries, 71 yards for Naboo.
Not a bad average.
And let's laud this Riley offensive line because they have done a wonderful job tonight moving people off the ball. 248 yards rushing tonight for the Cats. And take a look at that unit down there. Marcus Henderson, 55. Marcus Washington, 60. Camarion Moore, 74. Sean Fryman, number 62, out there now in place of DeAnthony Johnson. 2nd and 7. White wants to throw. Got some good blitz pick up there. Rolls out, got taken down from behind on a nice open field tackle by Micah Jacobs. White winds up losing about 8 yards on the play. But at this point, the Cats more than content to just try to bleed the play clock and get out of here with a W. And here's another flag that comes in. Just way too much chippiness on the field right now. And let's see what this one is all about. It's a dead ball on sportsmanlike conduct against Riley. And it's going to cost him another 15 yards. (22-12) the score in favor of Riley. But unfortunately, this is looking like a very disappointing finish to what should be a good story on the south side. Cats going to 3-0, snapping the 3-game losing streak against Adams.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing you got to look at is Riley moves to 3-0 for the first time in a long time. They have a good chance of winning their next 3 games, going into that New Prairie game undefeated.
3rd and a country mile from the 43. Austin White waiting for the shotgun snap. And finally gets it, gives it to Naboo. And Naboo still on his feet, finally corralled at the 35, 36-yard line, pickup of 7 on the play. And another flag. And somebody on the Adams sideline got out too far for the liking of the officials, and I think they're going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And a timeout called by Adams. That's their last one with 58 seconds left. We'll take it as well. Hopefully cooler heads will prevail when we get back. 22-12 Riley on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by API St. Andrews. 31 years of success. 4th down from the 35-yard line. Austin White wants to throw it deep and does, and it is intercepted by Braylon Williams, his 4th of the season. It's a touchback as Williams picks off the pass intended for Aiden Kent. Watch it again on the R&B Car Company replay. White was under pressure, had to get rid of it, and Williams elevates.
There's those receiver hands by Williams. Great job of going up, taking that ball at the highest point and pulling it down.
So 51 seconds left in this one. Adams down 22-12. And the officials getting into position slowly. Phoenix Clark looking to throw. Heaves it down the field looking for Williams. It's incomplete. Clark has now thrown 25 passes tonight with 12 completions, 1 interception, 100 yards. Adams looking as though they'll fall to 1-2. They have an interesting matchup with St. Joe next week. That's another big rivalry game for them.
Yeah, and St. Joe playing Washington, I believe, this week. They're up big. So it'll be an interesting game next week between those two squads.
Here's Clark rolling out, throws high, and Williams can't get that one. It'll be 3rd and 10. Frank Karszewski, a former quarterback himself, when I talked to Phoenix Clark and asked him what it's like to play for Frank, he said, well, Coach does a really good job of explaining things without yelling. And that's something that seems to appeal to players today like Clark and Williams, and not just here at Adams. It doesn't mean that's the only coaching style.
Yeah, no, there is some truth to that, and there is some ability for some kids to understand and learn better from not the old hardcore, old school way of doing it.
Bradford Washington comes in and gets the sack of Phoenix Clark. Adams does have to run one more play. They cannot run the clock out with the play clock. But the Riley Wildcats, their fans starting to celebrate over on the far side of School Field.
He's like, just let it run.
The two teams walking off the field. That will be the last play of this one as the Riley Wildcats celebrate going to 3-0 for only the 2nd time since 1997. They knock off the Adams Eagles tonight by a final score of 22-12. We've got a lot to talk about on our St. Joe County Police Department postgame show, including our Raising Cane's player of the game and our electrifying play of the game from the electrical workers of Local 153. Comes your way next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by
the Riley Wildcats, for the first time in 4 years, have beaten the Adams Eagles here at Everwise School Field, and the Cats prevail in this one tonight by final score of 22-12. Welcome inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt high above the fray. And for all the struggles that Riley had on offense in the first half, they solved them in the second half. And meanwhile, the defense just played solid all night long.
Yeah, the defense played solid all night long. And then the second half, offense started getting some more confidence, and then some guy came out of the woodworks from the defensive side to really help out that offense as well.
We've seen him do it before, too. Robert Naboo was sparkling on defense, then comes in the offense in the second half and gets a critical touchdown and two-point conversion. He's our Raising Cane's player of the game, and he's standing by now with Angelo DiCarlo.
All right, Robert, what a wild game. Congratulations on the victory. How does this feel?
This feels pretty good. You know, we haven't beat them in 3 years, and this really feels good, you know. Came out here, play our hardest. We had diversity, like our coach said is going to happen. And we kick back and we stay cool and still play our game plan. So, yeah.
You played a lot, played great on defense. Then you had to go in on offense when Dominic got hurt. Tell us about that touchdown.
You know, I always got to, like, you know, just keep driving, you know. I think that was just my instinct kicking in. Because I promised with my team I won't let them down. And this year's going to be a great year, so I had to do what I had to do.
You mentioned this year being a great year. You're off to a 3-0 start. How special of a group do you guys have here?
Very special. We got 24 seniors, 25, and I think no team can stop us. If y'all want to come get us, come get us. But we ain't going to let up. New Prairie, we coming next.
Robert Naboo, our Raising Cane's player of the game. Chuck and Bo, back to you.
Now, New Prairie is not till week 7 on the Riley schedule, just so you know.
Got a little bit of time before we get to there. Very confident. I love his confidence. You put a 4 on the back there, the other 3, and little Walter Payton-esque, you know, running style there. Just love the way he runs the ball and love the way he plays defense. Comes up, the hits that he has. He's an electrifying player.
Well, and he had the electrifying play of the game, courtesy of the electrical workers of Local 153, making our communities brighter. Here's what Bo's talking about with the Peyton-esque skill, as in breaking tackles. 4 on this run.
Just a great job of just keep driving and driving those legs, not giving up. Love the way he runs downhill. You can see another angle of it. See how his legs are driving? He just downhill, takes on the contact every single time, understands balance well, and as a running back, that's something you can't teach, is balance and the ability to have that drive. That's just natural ability, and he just does a wonderful job of it.
So we know Riley's sitting pretty. They're 3-0. The schedule bodes well as they get forward to New Prairie in week 7. What about Adams at 1-2? Can they bounce back and give St. Joe some trouble next week?
I think they have some playmakers, and I think their ability to come together and play a little bit more as a team in the offense. I think Clark does a good job. He just needs to find his receivers underneath a little bit more and not trying to go over the top as much.
Well, there you have it. That's the situation from School Field tonight, where Riley Wisnes won 22-12. Our thanks to our TV46 crew. Their second game in as many nights. And what a job they did. Matt Kowalski taking the reins from Dean Corswell tonight. And the bubbly one, Tony Beltran, working the buttons in the truck. A reminder, college football on the radio. Saturday on Pulse FM at noon, the Purdue Boilermakers open the Ryan Walters era, taking on the Fresno State Bulldogs. And then at 3:30, the third-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes marching to Bloomington to take on Tom Allen and the Indiana Hoosiers. Next Friday night, high school football for you from Napanee. The 4th-ranked Northwood Panthers play host to their Elkhart County rivals. The Northridge Raiders will have it for you Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9. Now from our broadcast partners, the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt and Angelo DiCarlo, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final, Riley 22, John Adams 12. So long from South Bend.